You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting nerds, and come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world, and show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests when we got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh at needs, gonna listen dreams, gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing a song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting nerds, and come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world, and show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
What up?
Welcome to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast. This is season 3, episode number 9. And tonight you've got me and Joe. Welcome.
I didn't hit the right applause this time.
How's it going, Joe? You good?
Pretty good, man. How you doing? Let's start. Hold on. All right, that's better. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, my friend. Living the dream, enjoying life. Yeah, it's like pretty mild winter out here in the Northeast. Usually we're like buried in snow, but we really haven't got much. So, yeah, can't say I'm upset about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Literally the complete opposite here. It's storm season. Like, obviously, I wasn't here last Friday because of a storm, and then we had a thunderstorm the other night, and I think our city got like 10,000 lightning strikes in like 2 hours. So all the poor people who lost power in the storm lost their power again, but thankfully it stayed on here.
Pretty sweet. Is it just poor people? Is that literally how it works? Or
No.
Do they have like? Do they have like?
We're gonna get an unlucky grid, you know.
They got Jennies. Is that, yeah, so.
Yeah, you can hear them all running.
It's not bad. Yeah, we get ice storms and stuff up here. We lose power a lot, so most people have them.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I'm glad you survived. That's nice. Glad you didn't get like tossed in like a big tornado and all your games didn't get scattered around. Like that would be terrible. But then
you always have those feelings like, what happens if like I'm more afraid of water than wind, because like we don't get tornadoes. It's more like a hurricane. So it's it's not a concentration of wind. It's a duration of 2 hours of this strong storm. But it's like the storm surges and everything that gets me scared.
That's why you got to keep all your shovelware on the lower shelves, all times. You can keep the. So I wouldn't put the good stuff on the top shelf because if someone breaks in, they're gonna go for that top shelf. They'll just assume that's the good one. So you don't want the sweet spots like right in the middle. What I like to do too is like
I put all the expensive games in next to the cheap games, so you don't know. But if you know, you know.
Dude, you got to do is you got to put like your nice games like just out and like your crappy games in the protectors that'll really fuck with them. They'll be like, well, this one's in this fancy case. I'm taking this freaking
taking this display case of FIFA.
This Rabbids Party Legends whatever game looks really, it must be worth a fortune. Then again, some games are worth a lot that you'd never guess. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't pick up Blue Reflection personally and be like, oh, yeah, this has got to be worth a lot. But it is. You never know.
Well, you're right, though. It's not like, let's use Pokemon cards, for example. Like, Charizard 20 years ago was the coolest card. It's still, like, the most expensive card.
It still is. I mean, what do you mean 20? It still is. Freaking, especially the hologram one or whatever.
Exactly.
It's dope. Yeah.
You look at video game collecting, like the way rare and collectible games go. If you start from like the NES, it was like stadium events. It was the game that sold the worst, not the best. It was the one that no one wanted became the one that everyone wanted. So it's interesting how things turn out.
Yeah, I think the Flintstones is one of the most expensive ones, and then Little Simpsons a good game. That one's expensive.
I mean, there's always going to be exceptions, of course.
Yeah, that one's a dope one.
Numbers.
Yeah, but you're right. It's definitely different. collecting. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to speculate on how things are going to go for the current generation.
No, I have no idea anymore. Now
Yeah.
like, if you asked me 5 years ago, I'm full 100% a full like physical collector today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't want to buy the new stuff. Like, do I even own it if I buy it physically? Is it all there? Like, it's such a weird landscape today that we're in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, that's a whole other thing. Is who knows if it's even on there? But it's just like I don't even know. Like keeping up with everything is ridiculous, and like in the world of reprints being like a regular thing now, like who knows? Like, and I've just seen some strange things happen. There's been a lot of games that are just unobtainable for a long time, really hard to get, expensive games, and all of a sudden they're just back, flooded everywhere. Like happens quite a bit. Like remember that No Way Out game you were talking about?
Yep.
That game for a while was out of print or sold out of stock, and it got very expensive. It was selling in the US for like between $50 and $100, I think. And then like all of a sudden it was just back in stock, Amazon, like $19.99 if you want a copy, for a long time. So I was just like, oh, I guess that game turned out not to be collectible, or at least worth as much. Maybe it'll come back or bounce back down the road. I don't know.
I think it's such an interesting concept because let's use a game like the Nightfall, for example. So that game was collectible because it was expensive and it was low print, and it went up in value, and it became this game that all these PS4 collectors wanted. And I even spoke about it in a video, and there's videos on the internet. This is a game to pick up if you want rare and collectible games. Suddenly it's reprinted and it's $30, and I don't even want to pick it up anymore because I'm like, it's a budget horror title. I've got it on the Truth Is Out There pack. It's now a $30 game.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't got the whole. It's a rare, expensive game. It loses that title, and you don't really want it anymore, which is really interesting to me. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I still speculate, and I'm probably wrong, but like, I feel like those games that are desirable like that, unless they reprinted like, 5,000, 10,000 copies or some crazy number, if it was just like a reprint of another 1,000 or so, I think it's just going to give it like a temporary, like, I don't know. So, video game desirability is an interesting thing because some games have what I view as like a natural desirability, just like they're great games that everybody wants in their collection because they're great games. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is the perfect example.
Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection on PS3.
Yeah, games where like you don't, the Silent Hill 2, you don't care if you get the black label or the greatest hits. It doesn't matter. Like the fact that there are greatest hits just doesn't matter. Those games are desirable. Everybody wants them. It's like Mario and the Nintendo world or something. You just want them in your collection. So those games have like that natural desirability. And then there's their games that are valuable because they're rare and hard to get. And once that dollar amount gets attached to them, and they just become collectible or desirable because there's that whole other like breed of collector out there who just likes to have expensive things. They don't really care about the games. They just like, oh, we lost him. See, I ashamed him, folks. He's one of those people. He's like, oh my God, no. He's exposing me right now. Figsy
exposed.
Exposed.
You mean it's not expensive anyway? I want it.
Yeah, well, anyways, so then, those games, they're expensive. And so now that they're expensive, what happens is that like, resellers start keeping an eye out for them, and people are going after them and trying to find them, and they're getting excited about finding them, and they're posting them in the post saying, oh, look what I found. I found this game. Oh, I got this. I got that. And so that it creates like a I don't know. It's not like a natural, it's like an artificial FOMO around it where people now want that thing because it's expensive or rare or whatever. And so I think that a lot of these games, what's happening is they have a natural collectability. Like I said, like they're like hard to find or rare for some reason, or people want them because they're horror, or because that's what the Nightfall was. It's a horror game. And those are just, that genre is, in my opinion, the most collectible genre of video of across like all generations of games, across all systems. Like horror like always holds up. It's just like people are into it. I don't know, for the most part. I don't know, there's a lot of GameCube horror, maybe. I mean, I'm wrong. There could be systems, I don't know. But even like on the Wii, like the horror games tend to be worth more, I feel, than your average Wii game, So So yeah, so those games, they have that thing where they become naturally desirable, and then they get a reprint, and they get like a temporary hit where the prices, they go way down because they're readily available. But that'll only last a certain amount of time, and eventually those will sell out again. And then I feel like down the road, like, because we're not really anywhere near the collectible time for PS4. Like, this stuff takes like 15 years to become collectible because of the generational gap. It's the people who are between the ages of 10 and 16 growing up with this stuff, PS4 or whatever, when they become like 35, 40, and they have disposable income, that's when that stuff really becomes collectible. When people are like, dude, I want to play whatever I played when I was a kid, what I was playing with my dad, what I was playing with my brothers, the same, the stuff that we talk about with, NES and whatever, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, I don't know. Feel me?
I want to throw a couple of curveballs at you because I
Mhm.
do agree with you, but I've seen some instances where this hasn't happened. So
Sure.
let's go back to the PS3, and there was a game in 2015 called Class of Heroes 2G, and it was the most expensive PS3 game.
Mm.
At the time, there was 2,750 copies. There was 3 variants, A, B, and C, and it was going for $3, $4, almost $500 on eBay. Like, one was selling every couple of weeks, and they were auctioning, and like it was going up and up, and it got reprinted. And you can buy a copy today, 5 or 6 years later, for the retail price of that reprint still. Another game, Toro on PS4, was the most expensive PS4 game in 2016. And it was $400-$500. And it was like,
true.
copies were auctioning for that. Today, you can get a copy for $50. I think it's cheaper to get it today than what they were retailing for. So I feel like a lot of these games, I 100% agree with you, but I feel like a lot of these games, like, let's say the Nightfield, I feel like a game like that, they wouldn't have even made 5,000 copies for. They would have been like, it's just some budget horror game. Let's just put out 2,000. Suddenly, all the horror collectors want one, and there's 10 times more horror collectors than. So they print 10,000 of them, and it has the opposite effect where they're just going to sit in stock for 5-10 years, and the price won't ever change. I feel like Painkiller's at that point right now, where Painkiller's never going to be more expensive than $100 because of the reprint. You can get copies for $30. I feel like Painkiller and Siberia are always going to be $30 games now. People that are selling the first print are now having to take a loss, and you're constantly seeing on eBay that first print getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Because at the end of the day, it's the same game, right? Why would you pay $30 for a $400 game when you can have the same thing?
Trust me, that's how I feel, and that's how most people feel. The hardcore collectors, there's not that many, and like, I'm honestly like, we probably know most of them, and a lot of them are like, nah, I'm not the one. They're not even doing that either. Like, not everybody's into that. Like, you just have to have like a lot of money, a lot of disposable income to really care, and I feel like if you're really into collecting, you kind of want to stretch your dollar a bit. I do. Like, I don't want to, like, I guess it all depends on how hard you want to flex or what your kind of collector, if you want to have like a perfect collection of first print everything, or I don't know, it depends on what you're going for.
There are people like that, but
my collection is like, I'm like a mutt. I have mixed regions. There's some greatest hit stuff in there. You know what I mean? It ain't like perfect.
I feel like, especially today, people like to collect for good value for money. Like, no one wants to be like, hey, check out my game collection. I paid retail for everything. No one's coming on the show and bragging about paying full price for things. Everyone's like, hey, I got this game for $1. I got this game for $5. I got this game for $10. I just wanted to go back to Siberian Painkiller for a second.
Sure.
I feel the only people that really wanted that in the first place, apart from the people that want expensive games, because we all know people want expensive things, but the majority of people that wanted that would have been full set collectors because they were the hardest ones to get. I know a lot of people that as soon as those reprints came out, they finished their collections, and they were stoked. Never thought about it again.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally do that. Like, I don't blame them, and I would be fine with that too, because there are a lot of, like, some of them, are just so expensive. Like you kind of resign yourself not getting them. It's like I want to get all the shmups on the PS4. Like I would love to do that, but there's a very expensive collector's edition from Japan that is very expensive, and I don't know. Like I mean, I'd love to have it. Don't get me wrong, but uh, I don't know if I wanted to fork out that kind of dough to complete it. And let's say VGP was like, "Hey, we're doing another one, $100." I'm like, hell yeah, I'd pick that up in a heartbeat. I wouldn't care.
I'm the same
but-
with the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection.
yeah.
At this point, I want it. I'm still waiting for that PS4 copy to be reprinted. I'll probably give it a couple of years, and then if it doesn't happen, I'll just buy the Switch copy that's still for sale. You know?
Yeah, I have the Switch copy. I was all about the Play Asia copy as soon as I could get it, and I'm totally fine with that. So I would love to have it on PS4 as well, but I'm good having it on the Switch because the Switch also has like every Final Fantasy. You can play like every Final Fantasy game now on the Switch, like 1 through freaking like 12.
I don't think it's like
something
14 or 11.
Not the online ones or whatever. Just and I don't think it has 13.
13 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
13 is still exclusive to the PS3. It's the only one.
that would be cool. Imagine, I don't know, have any PS3
13
games
trilogy,
been ported to the Switch? I think the El Shaddai is being ported to the Switch. That's a PS3 game.
Well, it was also a 360 game. It's not like it's just on the PS3.
Fair.
So
Fair.
they could port the 360 version over.
Yeah, I'd like to see that more.
Unpopular opinion, though, I didn't like 13. I tried, and the start of that game was so linear, I just couldn't get into it.
Not a lot of people feel that way. I mean, I don't blame you. I feel, well, Final Fantasy they don't hit the same like they used to. For me, anyway. Like, I don't know. They've lost like a lot of sense of mystery. I don't know, like exploration, and also like RPG in RPG-ness. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm playing 16 right now, and I enjoy it, but it's very, very basic. There's just not a lot going on. The Final Fantasy VII remake, I feel, was like a lot stronger because it had like the materia system, and constantly upgrading your gear and switching out your party members and all this other stuff. And 16 is like just like running through a story. Every once in a while, somebody joins your party, and then they leave, and you don't really even tell them what to do or control them. They're just like hanging out, doing whatever. And like,
see, I won't get invested like that, because why would you give an extra item to a character guy that's just going to leave or girl?
You don't.
I got a good item. I don't want to give it to them. They'll lose it.
Unless the game drastically changes. I'm like pretty far into it, I feel. And like, there's just not a lot going on. Like, you upgrade your gear and you're like, whatever. I don't really care. It's just like everything's just a hub. You go to the hub world. There's a guy that you can craft and upgrade gear and then do that. You just keep constantly doing the same thing. It's just not exciting. There's, like I said, there's no sense of like discovery or exploration. Like, okay. I never get that. Oh, look at this. Like in the old games, like I remember just running through the towns, like spamming the X button, trying to find stuff. Out of nowhere, Phil. What up, man? How you doing, man?
How's it going, bro?
What's going on, dude?
Always good to see you.
Yeah, I saw you guys are streaming, man, and I took a little break from moving around. So I said, yeah, I'm here, so I might as well join you guys if I can.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, thanks for
how's the move and everything going?
It's going good, man. Just finding stuff, which Joe saw earlier. I found some stuff that I hadn't seen in a long time in my apartment because I moved around the game room. And a lot of stuff fell out of nowhere, which is pretty insane. Like, I found a Game Genie for the PS3 that I thought I lost. Luckily, awesome. I kept the box. I didn't throw the box away, but the device was like right under this TV in the corner. I was like, wow, dude. So put it together, boom. I should actually post that on Instagram or something.
That's always cool. I've got signs falling behind my shelves, and it's like, if I ever move one day, I'll pull out these big metal signs that have fallen behind my shelves.
That's funny, man. Yeah, it's just crazy finding stuff that you thought you lost. But
yeah, let's go ahead.
No, when I get a bigger place, man, it's gonna be popping. I'm gonna have everything displayed nice and neat. I know where everything's at, because of course the apartment got a bit crammed for my time living here. But yeah.
Dude, that's so exciting.
Man, Man, so I heard you guys were talking about the state of play, right?
Yeah.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
did you guys watch the state of play yesterday?
Mhm.
I saw a little bit of it. I totally forgot it was happening. I saw Death Stranding Part 2, which I haven't even played Part 1. I'm waiting for it to be discounted. They're still holding on to that price tag on the PS5. I'm like, oh. So I'm gonna keep waiting too. $10 Black Friday. I'll pick it up. Silent Hill, a demo came out for that. I should have downloaded it. There's I don't know what kind of demo it is. I think it's like a first-person demo or something like that. So it might be kind of cool.
Which
Everybody's
game? 2 or the other one they showed?
It's the other weird one.
Okay.
Because they're doing a bunch of Silent Hill games, I think, or they're trying to work on it because the IP's been like gone for so long. So they I think they hired other developers to work on it too with their own ideas or whatever like that. So yeah.
It's good though. It's such a big series to disappear for so long. Like it was Resident Evil and Silent Hill for so long, and then it just became Resident Evil.
Yeah, Silent Hill, man, it really needed a resurgence. I just thought they would have did Part 1, which deserves a remake, not Part 2. But
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, two. I mean, I think 2 is probably a better game than 1 overall. Obviously, like I think it's just a more fleshed out experience. But like 1, it deserves more of a reimagining or a remaster. Like if you were gonna remake a game and you wanted to flesh it out a little bit more and add to it and make it bigger like that would be the one to do it with. I think. I don't know. It's a wasted opportunity, and it's weird. It's just weird to start out with 2. It's just weird.
Yeah, I think everybody's so in love with the whole the guy trying to find his wife and the love story, I guess. But I feel like the whole thing with Silent Hill 1 of the guy trying to find his daughter is more of a demanding story or something that's just stronger in my belief. Because when I played Silent Hill 1 back in the day, I mean the whole premise is I wanted to get the girl, get out of town because that game was scary as hell. Yeah. Silent Hill 2. You explore a little bit, it's not too scary, but it is weird. But nothing compares to Silent Hill 1, man. Going to that school, going into that tunnel in the school, you're in the school again, but it's all jacked up and the kids and just I'll never forget it. And the sound effects of the radio, just like when monsters are near, so terrifying. You know what I mean? It was insane. And the fog, they were able to use the fog effect on the PS1 to their advantage because it was some kind of trick they did with the graphics. Yeah, to make it, So that was really cool. Yeah, but I still have trouble playing Silent Hill 1 to this day. Like
it is scary. Yeah, it's freaking scary. That aesthetic too. Like I don't know. Like I find it kind of interesting. There's a lot of companies now that are like trying to emulate the PS1 horror aesthetic, and I think it works. It really does. Like it feels like creepy as hell to be in that like simplified like I don't know like. And you've seen like the demakes they do now too. Like if you see like Bloodborne demakes and stuff, that's so cool. I love it, dude.
I got one demake in my collection. I showed it to you guys, the Resident Evil 0 for the PS1. I got that demake, and I've seen a couple other ones, the Mega Man X demake and Part 8, which is cool. But demakes are actually pretty lit, man. I think they're the people's version of what the game should have been. So
I got some news about that. Not demake, but it was technically like a fan-made game. You guys ever hear about the game Bloodborne Carts? Like a fan made Bloodborne into a cart game. Anyway, Sony contacted them and want to buy the IP without Bloodborne and want to have like a kart racing game in that style. So it's becoming a real game now.
Wow, and they got paid. That's awesome.
Really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what they'll reskin it as. Some weird thing. It'll come up. It'll be like Barbie racing.
Halloween parts.
It'll be Barbie racing, and then everybody will be like, "This was the Bloodborne game." I think it was. That's
literally
awesome. So yeah, Death Stranding 2 looked weird.
One was weird. I loved one. I thought it was I wouldn't say a brilliant game because it didn't feel like a video game. It felt like I was playing a movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like what they compared it to was like a walking simulator. Like basically, you walk for a while, see some weird stuff, cool stuff, and then a boss fight, which is epic. Hideo Kojima's his boss fights in games are so cinematic, man. They're like really cool, and that was what I was looking forward to with playing the game, were the boss fights and how crazy they were. And there's that one. Did you beat the game, Pixie?
When I play games like that, I just start building bases and collecting all the items.
Making
100 hours in and side quest here, and I feel like I got a lot out of that game. I didn't finish it though.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm looking more to the boss fights in that game. I don't expect to understand the story too much because I'm pretty sure it's pretty wacky. Um, you know what's crazy? Things like for to kind of understand the story for those type of games, man, you have to like watch a deep dive on YouTube, and then somebody will explain it to you better. Like, okay, that's what's going on. Like, I'll give you an example of a game that I found out more about years later was Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross has one of the weirdest stories ever, but it's such a cool game. I mean, the alternate dimensions and stuff like that. But I had to watch a deep dive on it to really understand everything out of it because back when I was young, man, I just did not understand what was going on with that game compared to Chrono Trigger because they're linked to each other, but it's not really pushed that they're linked together. They're trying to be their own. Chrono Cross is trying to be his own game, so yeah. But yeah, man. Death Stranding, man. I mean, did they give it a release date?
I don't think we got a release date. No. Did we get a year this year?
I know they've been working on it for a while. They probably started about a few months after the first game came out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, these days they're probably working on it before the first ones have released. Really?
You're probably right. Yeah, you're right because they already got an IP. Let's keep working on it. So because Hideo Kojima, his name alone sold the game. Yep. You know what I mean? So
it's a new IP and it sold like a AAA title.
Yeah.
Like, how many not companies? He's just one guy. How many individual people in the gaming industry have got that type of reputation? There's not
exactly, man. I mean, his Metal Gear Solid games really brought him popularity, and Konami really, I don't know what they were thinking when they got rid of him, man. But he's bigger than them, in my opinion.
For sure.
They pushed him out. Like it was so bad what they did. They took him out of the credits of the game, and it just downward spiral, and we could see it happening for years.
If you're watching trailers and you just saw the Konami logo, you might be mildly excited, but like when you saw Kojima's name come up, you were like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be fucking good." You just know, you know what I mean? Like you're just it like you said, like reputation precedes him. You're just like, this is gonna be amazing.
I mean, do you guys remember playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time?
So good.
Yeah.
Having to unplug your controller and put it into port 2.
Yeah, that game, dude. I remember like when that game was about to come out, man, because I played a little bit of the demo. I was like, oh my god, this game's gonna be good. And I was in school reading the magazine, about the bosses you fight. I was just so pumped up for it. And when that game came out, man, I was not expecting it to be like it was. Man, it was phenomenal. It was the voice acting was on par. That's one of the first games on that the voice acting was really well done, like professional voice actors, even though they weren't popular. Mm-hmm. Professional voice acting, and the cinematics and everything like that. I know people say the cinematics are long in Metal Gear Solid games, but I loved them. I didn't notice them until people actually complained about them. Like, oh, they're too long, you can't skip them. Like Metal Gear Solid 4 was mainly known for that. But just playing the first game, it was an amazing experience, man. It has 2 different endings that a lot of people don't even know about. I mean, one different ending, alternate ending. I think is when you're getting tortured by Ocelot. If you give up, he'll take out Meryl, and then it'll be a Snake and Otacon ending, and it's such a sad ending, but it's so well acted out, man. Like a lot of people have not even seen it. Like the way Snake's reaction when he finds out that Meryl died, and it's like, I was like, dude, man, it was like chilling how good it was, and it's like, man, this is where video games are going. Like, look how far it's gone. Like it's insane. That's why the PlayStation era, like when it first came out, that was the first system that told everybody, hey, video games are cool. Like people didn't play video games, got the PlayStation. You know what I mean? That's when like you can walk around with a game magazine and not be called a nerd. Anything PlayStation in there? Yeah, right here. Boom. So
I feel like it was also a type of game where if you had a friend who didn't play video games or a partner, they could sit next to you and watch Metal Gear Solid and live that experience with you. Because half the game are cutscenes, and I'm not a cutscene person, but first time I played Metal Gear Solid 3 or 5, like I sat through every cutscene glued to the screen. Yeah. One downside is I've replayed 5 4 times and have to sit through every cutscene that I've already watched, and it's like, oh god, not again.
Yeah, speedrunners will probably get pretty crazy about that. Not be able to skip. Each game should let you skip a cutscene, especially if you beat the game. You should be able to skip them.
In the PS1 area, nobody complained about the cutscenes. We were blown the freaking hell away by that stuff, dude. Yes, that was insane, dude. I remember, and like now you look back and it's like, God. I mean, I remember watching like the Resident Evil 2 cutscenes and literally just being like, "This is so good. I just can't imagine. I can't believe how good it is. Like, just I couldn't believe how amazing it was." Yeah, like so. Cutscenes were dope at first. I didn't care how long they were. It's just nowadays, like I said, I don't even mind them that much, but like it can be too much sometimes. Like I don't know if I've ruined myself with too much arcade games, but like because those are so like you action packed. Put a quarter in, go bang bang bang, you're playing. So it's.
Well, I would say too, Joe, it's kind of different for us now because we're older. We got responsibilities, so we gotta keep moving. You know what I mean? When we're playing games, we gotta keep making progress, and when we're delayed, it's hard. Like Star Ocean, the second story R, which I beat, and I think I showed you guys I beat the game. The original game, you couldn't skip cutscenes, so that added to the playtime of the game, which added quite a few hours more on because you had to watch the cutscenes over again, and that was so annoying to me. But this new one allows you to skip cutscenes, which makes the game much more playable and manageable, and less stressful. Because I put 80 hours into the game and I unlocked all the endings. I wouldn't be able to do that on the PS1 version. It would have took like way longer than that to do all that stuff.
You could be one of the fastest players in the world, but with the loading times alone, you're probably spending 100 hours on that game on the PS1 at least.
Exactly. So I'm glad that more companies are putting that option in there for us because we need it, especially for speedrunning has got popular. Even though I wouldn't play a game like that, but it is cool to see someone playing like Resident Evil 2, like a remake, doing a speedrun playing it. It's kind of cool seeing that stuff. So yeah.
And devs, I love watching videos of devs watching their own games being speedrun. Yeah. It's like, how did he break the... Look, he just did that. I patched that, and he still broke it. Before Reggie about Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger having stories that you don't even realize a story until you like rewatch it on YouTube. And 100%, because I'm just thinking Dark Souls for me. Because I played through all the Dark Souls games, had no idea what's going on, and then I got into the series, like fell in love with them, started watching videos on YouTube, and realized that those stories are just made to interpretation. So they give you like clues. There's no sets in stone story. So if you go on YouTube, you can see full hour-long documentaries on this is my interpretation of the story. But this YouTuber's got another story. It's completely different. It still makes sense. And the developers never confirm or deny what's true and what's not. So I think it's really cool how they do that.
All right.
Well, that's smart. If you can give
Let's let the fans write the story.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Although I don't like that in my TV shows. I want like the people who write the story to write the story, and I want them to tell me what happens. I don't like when they're like, it's just totally up to you to figure it out. Like how I don't like the end of The Sopranos, none of that shit. No.
Yeah, that's like a John Carpenter movie.
Just tell me what happened, all right? I don't want to freaking sit here and be like, what do you think? What do you think? No.
Exactly. Joe, I think they could do that for a little bit. Then they should explain to people because, like, the whole wondering effect takes away from it. Like that's why. I like John Carpenter movies, man, but man, he leaves them like just too empty at the end, and that gets on my nerves. I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me what happened next. Like what something like that. So
the worst feeling in the world is at the end of a show or a movie when they're like, was that a dream? Was that real? Can you even know? Wait, did that actually happen? Wait a minute, I'm confused. Did that actually happen? Did I just watch an hour and a half of bullshit?
What was that movie called? Inception?
Inception? That's the one they go inside each other's heads and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, the ending to that one was like, what the heck happened, dude? Like, was it?
I kind of enjoyed that, but I watched it 4 or 5 times, and I didn't get it until the 4th or 5th time.
And Fixie, was it the real world at the end?
Oh, it's been so long, I can't remember.
I probably had to watch a documentary or something just to skip to the end of it and see what went down. But I only seen that movie twice though. But yeah, that was a good one. But the ending just like,
dude, you know a movie I've watched like 20 times and I'm still just like, it's fucking Donnie Darko. Like I think I know what's going on, but I don't know what's going on.
Bro, the deleted scenes in that movie help explain a lot of stuff. And the deleted scenes on the DVD, which they should have added to the movie, which would have made it more manageable.
Maybe I'll pick that up. I do like that movie quite a bit.
So. Yeah, it's a good movie, but they shouldn't have cut out those scenes because they were important to keep in the movie to keep things moving. You know what I mean?
I brought up something that I forgot. Kyle, Cooper shooting electricity out of his guitar on the Death Stranding 2 trailer. That was so good.
That
So,
was awesome.
with me not seeing the state of play, what else was on there that was cool? Or anything?
That new like ninja type Souls-ish like Sekiro looking game. I forget the
Ronin?
name. Yeah,
Ronin?
it looked really good. I'm like, oh my god, another game I need to play.
It did look good.
It looked very Sekiro-esque, and the parrying system looked very similar. And yeah, if they've gone down the road of making another Sekiro, then take my money.
It had a. I like the setting. It was an interesting too because they said it was like some specifically weird time and setting where it was like Western and like Japanese like settings, so they look like old like I don't know medieval buildings, but still like Japanese. Like I don't know, it looked really cool. I like the setting a lot. That looked pretty awesome. Did you guys see the trailer for Dragon's Dogma 2?
I didn't see
that.
that.
Oh, that one looks sick, dude. I'll be honest with you. That game looks freaking badass. Yeah, the whole time I was watching the trailer, I was like, is this Monster Hunter? Kind of looks like Monster Hunter. That's all I thought it was. But no, it's Dragon's Dogma 2, and it looks really good. Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma was a game that, like, people didn't play it when it came out, and then it was a great game, and they gave it that whole, like, remaster or remake treatment, and people got into it and have discovered the series, and now there's a sequel. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen some people tweeting about it, the first game, and like playing it on Twitch and stuff, kind of get back into it. So I've never played it personally, but I did think that looked sick. So I would check it out. Looks like I said, good.
Yeah, hopefully you get what you pay for in the game, because I remember a game that kind of tripped me out. You guys remember Dragon Age Origins?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like it. I played it for like 10 minutes. I wasn't a fan.
Well, Figsy, here's the thing, man. I saw the commercial for it, like the trailer for it. I was like, dude, this game looks great. It's by BioWare because they did the Mass Effect. So I was so pumped up to get the game. And I got the game and said, this looks nothing like that cinematic, man. The characters don't look all jacked up looking. I mean, I enjoyed the game, but the trailer really threw me off, man. It's almost like false advertising in a way, you know. But maybe they made the trailer way before they made the game. I don't know. No excuse. That's what I thought the game was going to look like. But
just give me Watchdog vibes. Well, they released a AAA trailer and a dumbed down version of the game.
Why they do that? Because they didn't have to. I heard. I mean, they just.
I would say they cost themselves more in sales by doing that, because the internet had so many like side by side comparison videos that just killed the sales of that game.
Dang.
You know what it did? It ruined the second one, because the second one was a brilliant game and it didn't sell very well.
No, it didn't. Well, I think the second one didn't sell well as well for that reason, is because the main people were like Aiden, so they were looking for him to be in the sequel. And when you make a new character, I mean, they were trying to like appeal to the kids or whatever, like the younger teens. But when you get that fan base from the first game, they want that same character, because this story was pretty deep. I mean, when you beat the game, so it would have been nice to see him in the second game.
Yeah, and then the third one, they went and made you the protagonist.
Yeah,
so like they tried to backflip on that. I really enjoyed the second, but yeah, you're right. If they kept Aiden, and they could have done things really well. But playing in San Francisco was really fun.
I want to give that game a chance. I just got to get some room on my PS5 to install it, because it seems like, I don't know, with those type of games, I feel like there's too much to do. Like, you know, you got the cell phone. You're like, hey, what do I do now? Like, I can do this too. Like, like, dude, so much, you know.
And it's like you can go around the block, and there's 4 collectibles and 2 pay and sprays, and there's a gang thing to do down there, and a security thing to hack here, and but that mission's here, and yeah, they do become overwhelming. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe it's like for someone who doesn't really have a lot of games, they can really dig into it like that. But for us, man, we gotta. Sometimes it's just too much, man. Like, geez.
Yeah, there's different type of gamers out there for sure. Like, you know, and I used to like want a game. Like, I used to play World of Warcraft. It's like I wanted a game that had infinite content. Loved it. But now I'm like the exact opposite. I'm like, hell no. I want it to be 30 hours or less. Get out of here with that. I'm not here for no 70-hour game or 80 hours.
Can you imagine like a AAA RPG where there's no collectibles and all there is just like a story to play through? I can't imagine it today. No leveling system. You just got a character and you got all your weapons and stuff. They're just giving you a story.
That's what Final Fantasy 16 feels like to me. It's just you're on rails and you're just rolling through this story.
You're rolling through it, man. Well,
He's telling you this fight to this fight, and if you lose the fight, it's just like, hey, you want to try again? We'll just give you more potions. You're like,
wow, dude, that's
Okay.
they try to keep the
All right.
gamers playing,
I
man.
don't like that.
I don't
I
know.
love the whole, you lost the fight. Well, guess what? You just used all your potions, and now you're fucked.
Well, I mean, maybe you could probably still have the option to do that. But I don't know. I don't.
These companies can't afford that anymore, man. With these games, man, because their whole thing, they got to keep you playing and keep you interested. And the gamers that I guess that make them the most money are the gamers that are beginners that just want to kind of go through the game like a regular story. And
I guess I'm a weirdo because I used to actually enjoy being in an RPG and like doing a dungeon and getting my ass kicked by the boss and being like, I gotta grind. Fuck,
Yeah,
I'm not strong enough. And then I put on the red headband and I put on the 80s montage and I'm pushing to the limit. And then I go out and I kill a bunch of stuff and I get that sword at the shop that's way too expensive. It's like you shouldn't, 10,000 when it takes you like 3 days to get that much money. You're like, I'm buying that bitch. And then you do it, I don't know.
And then you get back to that boss you were stuck on and you kill him in like 2 seconds and you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm now 2 overpowered. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. It was the same thing happened to me playing in Star Ocean R because they have this dungeon. It's called the Cave of Trials or something else, right? And it's this 13 dungeon level where you fight the hardest enemies in the game. And I was leveled up pretty high, but I got my ass kicked on the 3rd floor. I was like, dude, I got 10 more floors to go. I gotta start grinding, and I did that, and I got to a high level, and I got to the final boss down in that dungeon, and she whooped my ass, dude. It was horrible, and I found an exploit, though, to beat her and get the experience. There's this armor called the Bloody Armor or something like that. And basically, the armor is invincible, but it sucks down your hit points. So nothing could hurt you during the battle. So I was attacking the boss like that. And one of my characters had this thing called Energy Sword, which heals everybody in the party. So I kept using that while attacking the boss, and I got her. I was like, yes, dude, that's how you do it. But yeah, some of those bosses are way too hard, man. But the grind, though, is fun because you're gonna get it up, and then you're gonna like, boom, boss is out of there after that. So as long as it's not like hard grinding like Xenogears was. Remember grinding in Xenogears? You ever play that one, Joe?
I played Xenogears, but I haven't finished.
Xenogears
is a weird game, right?
It is.
It is. That's why I kind of like, I don't know.
And it has like a lot of long story cutscenes, so it's weird where you need to grind it in that game. They don't really give you many grinding spots, so you have to like take advantage of what you can because you'll be underpowered in that game. But yeah,
Dude,
that's.
I remember lots of games. I remember the end of Dragon Warrior 3. I could not beat that bitch. And I just remember running around in the little dark world over and over again, trying to hunt metal slimes or with those little special slimes that give you like 1,000,000 XP if you hit them. You know what I'm talking about? I think they're like metal slimes, and you can't, they dodge like every hit and they always run away. And they're such a piece of they suck. But if you can actually hit them and crit them or whatever, you can like one shot them and you would get like just tons of XP and money and stuff. And I just remember trying to hunt them down for hours and hours and hours, trying to level up in that game. Which I'm looking forward to the remake because I'm going to do the same thing. That's right. I can't wait. It better be the same way. I don't want it to be easier at all. It'd be just
I had that game on the Game Boy Color, and I wish I had kept it, man. But
that's a cool version of it. I like it. Yeah, that's a really cool version. The ones on the Game Boy Color. Wow. Yeah, they've never done like a collection of those, like a straight port. Like they did like a remake of them on the Switch, but they're like mobile versions of mobile games. Yeah, and the graphics suck. They really do. Like they look hideous. So I ain't down with that at all.
Yeah.
There was a pretty cool remake of 4 on the DS. They like redid the graphics and did that. That was a cool version of that one. But yeah, I'd love like an actual like they did the Final Fantasy remastered collection. I would love like a regular port of 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Nintendo versions and everything.
Speaking of that, is it back in stock for PS4?
Not yet.
Hell no.
It will be at some point, surely. Like they're what, $1,000 now?
Is that where it's going, Fixie? Is anybody buying for that price?
They sell every single week, and they're all auction prices. So there's multiple people all trying to get it. It's kind of sad.
I wonder why Square won't remake it.
Probably because of that. They're afraid people will show up and kill them. And they're like, I bought it for $1,000. What are you doing?
Maybe Square are the ones who are putting them on eBay. Like, who knows? at this
That's
point?
true too.
Dude, there are companies that have done that before, man, and I know for a fact. There was this company, one of the more expensive games on the DS system. It's by Graffiti Games, I think. It's some weird Animal Crossing type game or some kind of farm simulator. I actually met one of the guys that they worked at the company, and I met him by him finding his eBay auction, which is like all the games were sold out, but he was selling them himself for, I won't say absorbent prices, but they were pretty high. But I got some games cheap from him because they weren't high at the time, but he was selling his own stock pretty much, because I guess the company kind of folded or whatever like that, and he kept some of their products. So I was like, wow.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm just going to quickly share eBay listings sold because the game's now going for $1,600.
Whoa.
North American, oh my! This is Australian prices, so this is probably 75% of the US price. But this is absolutely insane.
Fixie, you got a copy of it?
I don't. And I'm not spending $1,600. I'm buying retail, or I'm not owning it.
Everybody wants it because of Final Fantasy 4 and 6, man. Those games, man.
Yeah.
6 is considered the best Final Fantasies ever, still to this day.
Why would you buy that when you can buy a Switch copy, brand new from PlayAsia still?
Yeah, that's true. It's just that people are everybody's winding down on the PlayStation 4 where it comes to physical games. I see companies skipping over to PS4 to PS5 for indie type titles. I'm like, dude, come on. I saw something today.
You know what's fucking driving me crazy, Reggie?
What's that?
I keep seeing freaking sales where the Switch copy's $20, the PS5 copy's $20, the PS4 copy is $40. It's not on sale. Over and over and over that keeps happening. It's driving me fucking mad, dude. Persona 5 Tactica went on sale, $20 on the Switch, and the PS4 copy's $38. I was like, come on, man. I want a PS4. Why you guys gotta play me like this? What are you gonna do?
Dude.
Well, Joe, with that in mind, do you think that's because now they're producing way less PS4 copies?
Oh yeah.
100% they are.
Absolutely. They're doing the bare minimum amount, I think, of those.
Because if we get back to 2021, I remember when PS4 copies were $10 cheaper than the PS5 copy.
Yep.
They also included a free PS5 download, and it was this is the best version to get. It's cheaper. It has 2 games on it, technically.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen anymore.
No, I think we're going to enter a realm of FOMO like you would never believe, because we're going to start seeing new games selling out fast and not being available, retail games. That's going to start happening because as they produce less and less and less, it's going to be like piranhas, man. I'm telling you, people are going to be.
RoboCop's $100, and it was a AAA game.
Still sold out, huh? Oh my god, I want to play that game too.
Dude,
you know what's crazy about that? I'm seeing people post 2-3 copies of that game. Hey guys, look what I managed to find, multiple of them.
They showed a little bit of flex, huh? 3 copies of the same game. It's hilarious. I think they'll eventually get back in stock. Usually what these companies do, they wait to do a print run with another game or something like that to make it cheaper. I guess
that makes sense.
I've seen it happen with Disaster Report 4. So Disaster Report 4 and the PS4, and I think the Switch too, and more so the PS4 has sold out, and copies are going for a lot of money. But when they brought out R-Type Final Part 2, that's when you saw multiple copies of that game coming back. At least in America it was, because you could buy the PAL version for cheaper, but people were strict about sometimes ratings on games. They want their American version, even though it's the same thing. But it finally came back in stock when R-Type Final 2 came out, and that's when I got my copy of the game. So. But yeah, I think companies do that. That helps them save money, doing it like that.
I got a game I wanted to talk about, and AJ brought it up in the chat this week. So this week, Spec Ops: The Line was delisted from the Microsoft store.
What?
I'm not sure if it was delisted from the Sony store, but copies have now shot up in.
We're going for.
Are you kidding me, Mixie?
Going for over $100. Yeah.
And Spec Ops: The Line is a brilliant game. I call it an experience. Some people don't like it. Some people think it's amazing. Everyone should play it once.
Yeah.
I've heard everybody who played it says it's dope. You guys were talking about it on this show, I think, actually.
Yeah, sure. It's a great game. So, or Fixie, is it just the 360 version, or is it PS3?
Find out if
PS3 one.
Is what?
They're both going for a lot, I believe. I think the 360 one is the more desirable one, though. Right?
Yeah, because you probably played on the Xbox, well, backwards compatible and upscaled probably for that game, maybe. Because Microsoft is known for doing that, thankfully, upscaling their games.
It's so weird to me that you guys were just talking about that game and then it just got announced.
Yeah, it's being listed from the PlayStation Store as well because of the partnership with 2K's expired and they're not renewing the license. Crazy. You can. It was $4 digital.
Did it just go up? Like recently?
This week it's gone out. Yeah.
Could you imagine, like Square being like, "Hey guys, we lost the license to Cloud. We want you to destroy all your Final Fantasy discs. Sorry, it's over. It'll never happen." Guys,
well,
oh my God, there's copies selling for $90. But these are sold copies.
Yeah, I told you it was like $100.
Wow,
it's going for like $100, close to $100 already.
That game.
Back to January, there's $20 copies online. Like. That just blows my mind that a game can go from $20 to $100 overnight.
Dude, what's Alien Resurrection going for? Out of curiosity, because that shot up like crazy once they MVG announced it was like you could use it as a boot. It's Alien Resurrection on PS1. You can use it as like a boot swap disc on PS1, and as soon as that came out, it went crazy. I'm just curious what it was going for now.
$200, $170, $160.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Version, $160.
Yeah. So basically, that game
was sitting on shelf for $10
$30. Yeah.
Mental, man.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's crazy. Like we can just go like all of a sudden. It's all about trends and stuff too. Like I noticed, like what seems to be happening is that like every time a new remake or a franchise gets revived. Or any like people get more interest in like this franchise, all of a sudden the old games like remember like how Armored Core?
Yep, exactly.
Like, nobody gave a shit about Armored Core games, and then all of a sudden once the new Armored Core was coming out, like everybody was like, and started buying them all up again. They got interested in it, it brought the hype back and got people wanting into. You know what? I did like Armored Core. I'm gonna pick those up, and then there was probably like a whole group of people like, wait, that's the Dark Souls people made that? I didn't even know that's from Software or whatever. I didn't know that. And like
that's my favorite game.
I'm collecting everything Front Software, baby. I'm so it's like
Armored Core 5 only $100. Take my money.
Like we have that collective hive mind in the community, and like we all have that interest all at the same time. Like all of a sudden, a couple people make some videos about it, blah blah. It's like it's weird.
It's really the wrong way to collect.
Correct. You do not want it. You want to be ahead of all those trends. You never want to be following those trends. Yeah.
Let's use the PlayStation best of pack on PS3 for example. So when they delisted the store in 2021, that shot up to like $300, and then they closed the decision, and people started buying their copies. Still, you want a copy today? You can get it for $80. Has the exact same games. Same game that people bought for $300 4 years ago, but because people aren't all talking about it and aren't all trying to buy it at the same time, you can get it for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of those people selling it on eBay would have just bought it to flip. So they only want a profit. So eventually they have to sell it. So they're going to be lowering their prices until it sells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is why in my last episode we were talking about buying from collectors. I'm like, I'd rather buy from not collectors. Collectors are like, no, it's worth this much, and I'll take forever. But like people who sell games for a living, they're like, I need money and I want to move stuff. So yeah, I'll give you a deal. Like you're the only one who's
like us,
at this game in a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like us though, we will hook each other.
Each other up. That's different.
Yeah, like there's just like people know there's some good collectors out there with us. Yeah, usually I'll try to avoid buying from a collector if you can because
yes, but I'm just saying like if I meet some random collector on the interwebs, like they all they're like put the condition and this and that and blah blah.
As soon as they start talking like that, you already know.
I'm like, no man, I go by price charting and I want less than that. And
I got a question for you guys. You see a post on Facebook, game collection, really cool stuff. You want a few of it. Comment says PM for prices. Are you PMing him or are you just ignoring it?
No, because you already know what's going down with that, man. Usually they want people to post the prices on there so people could like just decide if they want to deal with this person or not. Everybody PMs the person, then they do all people are backdooring each other. Well, this guy offered me this much. Oh, well, I can give you this much. It's just like, no, just put the prices and that's it, because it leads to fighting. And I see it happen in the groups, man. When that stuff happens, man, like he offered me this price, he sold to him, like craziness, So
I've had that before, Reggie, where I've wanted a game and our friends mentioned, "Hey, I got that game you wanted." I'm like, "Oh, sweet." He's like, "The highest offer is $200. What are you offering?" I'm like, "Good luck, mate." Like
nothing, zero now. The first time go ahead.
No, I was gonna say what drives me crazy too is like they'll be like, "I want $150 for the game," and I'll be like, "All right," and I'll literally just go on eBay, look up the same game. There's like 20 listings, $120 free shipping. You know what I mean, for all the same game, and I'll just take a snapshot and I'll be like, "Hey, man, I can just have this delivered to my house for free. I don't have to leave. I don't have to move, and I get." I can return it. I get all these benefits for doing it. I'm like, so why would I, so if I can get that for 130, you want 150. I'm like, and I have to drive to you, spend my time and my gas to pick this damn thing up. I'm like, I'll give you like $100 for this thing. That's like the best I'm going to do. It's got to be like cheaper than what I can do from hitting a button and have it dropped off at my door, dude. And these people just don't understand. They're like, no, but my friend Fred sold his for $150 in 1996. I like, or whatever, man. I don't fucking.
People gotta understand, man.
You're illogical. It's not rational for me to do this. It would be irrational for me to buy this from you. You're a fucking lunatic.
and Joe, they gotta understand it. They're not gonna get top dollar. You gotta sell something. You gotta be more intriguing than the other guy that's selling it. You know what I mean? Like, why should they buy your copy?
I mean, there could be like a few exceptions. So, and I never used to think this until I worked in retail, but if you work in a retail shop, for example, it sells video games, and say you have rare games that don't usually show up, and your prices are eBay or 5% more, if you get a customer come in, they can pay that because in their head, they see the one on eBay, but they get this whole, I can get it today. And people have this whole thing, not saying we do, but they can get something today, they'll be happy to pay $5, $10 extra, or even the same price. When if they think about it, they know that they can just wait a week, buy it on eBay, get it cheaper. But there's a lot of people out there that want the convenience of getting something today in their hands.
That's totally fine. I mean, if you want to pay for the convenience, I get it. And then there's also, you get to see it, check the condition, hold it in your hand, see if it's complete. That's like a huge thing too. Because like a lot of the times if you ask questions to these people, they'll increase their prices. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're like, hey, is this thing complete? Does it come with the map? You know what I mean? And then they find out that their listing is $50 cheaper than every other listing that has the map.
Right.
So that's why I'm asking. I'm like, so if it comes with the map, it's 200. Without the map, it's 100. This dude's asking 100. So hey, you got the map? Now he's like, actually, it's 200. I'm like, you fucking asshole. You know what I mean? You give them. It's like the same thing. It's like you see a bundle of games, and there's one game in there that's like it's like a good deal, and you want that one game. If you say like, I just want that game, they're gonna look that up, and you're not getting it for that price. So you just buy. I buy the whole bundle. I just say, I'm like, I'll take all of it. I'll take the whole thing. I don't give a shit. I'm not even going to argue. I'm not going to say that. I'm like, just give me everything you got. I'll give you this much. Then I'll take that one game, sell everything else, and then get my money back. So it's like, yeah. But like, if you ask them, you get screwed. It's fun.
Yeah. And I noticed that happened to me twice with two stores, retail stores, actually. I don't know if I ever told you guys this story. So when the whole PlayStation store was closing down or whatever like that, there was that PlayStation, it was called the Sony online games. It was some of their mobile games like Fat Princess and a couple other games on this compilation disc or whatever like that. I forgot what it was called. But I remember my local store had it, and they had it for cheap. And I was like, I wanted to call and make sure they had it. And then when I called, they said, yeah, we still got the game. I said, yeah, oh yeah. How much was it again? I think I saw it for like this price. Hold on a second. And it took like 5 minutes. It got back to me. The price went up. I was like, dude, it's not what it says on the case. I was like, get out of here. But one of the worst cases happened to me when I was in Vegas. I went to this place. It was called We Play Games or We Love Games, something like that. And they had a bunch of Game Boy Advance games in there at the time. This is before the whole pandemic. And they had a game I've been looking for years that I owned that I sold a long time ago, which was Disney's Magical Quest Part 3 for the Game Boy Advance. They had a price in there. I think it was like it was close to 200 or something like that. I can't really remember, but I know it was up there. So all I asked the guys was, are you guys firm on this price? He's let me check, man. We can probably give you a discount. And then he came back to me like 5 minutes later. Oh, looks like the price is pretty high, man. We got to change the price. I said, what, you're not going to sell it to me for what that price says on the car? He's, that's what they paid me to do. I got to change the price. I'm like, oh, my God. I never forgot that. And I remember when I did my video talking about it, the owner hit me up like a few months later, asked me about it. And I was like, man, it's done now. You're way too late.
No, dude, I'm good. I'm good, man.
That $20 you made, ruined our relationship.
And you know what's funny that they're the type of store though you go to where nothing's priced. So when you ask for something, they look it up, and it's like that's annoying. Like put your price. They don't want to miss a penny or whatever like that. But I just feel like it's an inconvenience to have to ask for everything like that, like a price to say what it's cost right there. Boom, I want that game. I want this game. I want that game. When they gotta look it up, it's annoying. It's like, dude, like,
I guess I'm probably not the customer that they want, but if I went into a shop, I look around the game room and I try and find those 3 or 4 bargains that I'm like not making money on, but I might want a few for the collection, 1 or 2 to flip, and so I'm really not the customer that they want when they're looking things up like that.
Yeah, man, we're collecting on the cheap, man. I went to GameStop the other day because they had like a buy 4 for $10 and buy 4 for $20, which was like $5 a piece or whatever. I picked up some games there, but I wait for those type of deals to happen. When I go to GameStop, usually pick up some games, and I find some good ones sometimes here and there. It depends on what GameStop you go to, but those deals are really nice when they have them because you can actually start a good collection on those type of deals at GameStop. I mean, GameStop back in the day, dude. Oh my God, they had so many crazy deals when they were blowing games out because nobody was really like buying games as collectibles or whatever back then, whatever. But they just, if a game was being phased out, just everything was cheap pretty much. Like PS2 when it was phased out was amazing. I vaguely remember PS1 being phased out, but they were just amazing. You can find like amazing stuff like Final Fantasy 7, 8 over there for like way cheap and going for other deals combined with other sales. So really amazing times. I just people have no idea how good it was back then when collecting was back then. Nobody was really into it.
I wanted this stuff. It was the glory days.
Yeah, the glory days, man. It was amazing. And for us,
you get a house and buy games, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I got some more stuff," and they just bring out everything gaming related and throw it at you.
And back then,
it's a question going back to what you were just talking about, Reggie. In Australia, we've got this law where retail shops, if they've got a price on something, they have to sell it to you for that price. So whether it's a supermarket or an electronic shop or what, like if you find an item that's marked at $20 and it scans at 80, they have to sell it to you for 20. Otherwise, you get that for free, and it's like a consumer law in Australia. And you can take it to like higher up, and they're going to get in trouble. Is that a thing in the US?
I mean, not at the store I went to, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Because that's just weird if someone does that, like especially with people filming stuff now. All that company needs to do is get embarrassed by somebody filming it. They change the price and go up on the internet, and then they get in trouble or they lose sales. So they're very I'm pretty sure they're very careful about doing that type of stuff. Like changing the price. But it just happened to me like once, and it never happened again. But it was a horrible experience, man. Because I'm like, really, like we got to raise the price of the game, like,
dude.
You'll never get that, and you'll never go there again. So at the end of the day, who's the one that lost out? It's them losing out.
That's true.
Dude, I remember I went one time with my friend. I went to a Circuit City with his grandmother.
Circuit City, wow.
Circuit City, baby. And we were looking for TVs, and his grandmother found this TV that was like mispriced. Like it was like a $300 TV marked $119.99 or whatever. And like they were like, sorry, no, we can't sell it to you. And this she was not having it. This little old lady fought with that manager for like an hour. He caved. He was like, just sell it to her. I don't care. Like he's like, just whatever. I'm done with this. Like she would not. She was like, nope, I'm taking it for this price. She fucking. I mean, it was amazing, man. It's mean.
And I mean, it turns out uncomfortable, but they do it. I remember when Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart got released, and I went into the store and every single copy had a $110 price sticker on it, and I found one with a $35 price sticker on it that wasn't meant to be there. And I took it to the counter, and he's like, "I can't sell this to you." Like he's like, "I know, you found it. I can't do it." He's like, "Look, our cost price is $60, so I'll give it to you at cost price." So that's what I took, and I took the cost price.
You think they would have fired him if you sold it for that price?
We sold it for more like after 2 weeks. So
you think he would have got fired if he sold it to you for the price you found it for?
He definitely would have got in trouble. But I took a photo of it first thing. I was fighting this. The guy's like, "Look, I know that you're in the right here. I'm going to give you a deal, but I can't give you too good of a deal." So he still looked after me. I walked out a happy customer.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, but you get lucky, man. People be slipping. I saw somebody post a picture on Twitter of Walmart was selling Prince of Persia for like $10, the new Prince of Persia game on Switch.
Really?
Damn. Yeah, dude. It was like some weird clearance tag. They were $10 and it said marked down from 20. And it said, and it wasn't like the wrong game in the wrong spot. It said Prince of Persia right on it.
On this job, I've heard that the game didn't sell well. Like it didn't reach its targets. And
really?
Money, and it sold 500,000 copies, which it was well under what Ubisoft expected.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, it's actually a really good game, and a lot of people just aren't buying it because Ubisoft have lost the trust of so many of their customers.
They have.
I think the price point's too high for what it is too. It's like $50. That's a $30 game to me. Sorry.
Yeah, they gotta build up again from what happened because a lot of people are still mad at them about the Beyond Good and Evil 2 debacle. That game still has not been released, man. And the guy who created it left the company. So that's bad news.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. They showed trailers for that like 1,000 years ago. And that still hasn't come out yet.
Beyond Good and Evil hurt itself because Ubisoft released it at the same time the first Prince of Persia game came out. I think it was called Sands of Time. Was that the first of the PS2 and GameCube? The Prince of Persia game?
I think so.
One of them, yeah.
That's right.
I can't remember, but basically they came out the same month. And obviously, Prince of Persia sold really well, but no one paid attention to Beyond Good and Evil, and it's a great game. So that game was being sold at $10 at Circuit City, I remember, on the GameCube. I was like, "Why is this game on sale like so fast? I just bought it." So I was mad because I wanted to save some money. But they hurt themselves. So people always wanted a Beyond Good and Evil Part 2, and we got hints for it over the years, and then we finally got this big trailer for it, and all the stuff that's work had been done on it. And I think they showed some gameplay, maybe not, probably not. But everybody's pumped up for it, and they just don't say anything about it. They just stay tight-lipped, and then they do this other stuff with the company, and people just start to lose their trust with them. The whole subscription thing that pissed a lot of people off. Then the guy saying, "Hey, you gotta get used to not owning your games." Ugh.
Yeah, what?
You nerd? Like, come on. So
leave that bad PR to Xbox and Sony. You're just a company who doesn't even need to be commenting on this stuff. You know.
I don't think that's. I think that the gaming community. I think we stand strong, man. We don't put up with it. Like, have you seen how this new freaking Suicide Squad game's getting just freaking shredded and shit upon because
I saw
like, people are not freaking having it, dude. They're like, no, man, this should be a single player experience without all this freaking pay to win crap skins online as its only. It's got like every horrible thing you could ever want in a game.
Is it made by Rocksteady?
Yeah. And it's like a disgrace compared to what the arcade.
Yeah, they said that the Batman and they said the Joker's really weird in the game, and they just I don't know, man. I saw a bunch of videos talking about it, but I didn't watch them. I said, really? Like Rocksteady?
People are returning it. Yeah,
they're returning it. Wow, wow.
Let's talk about the other side of this, the field. Like right now in the gaming industry, we've got this game on Steam called Power World. It's half price, that everyone's loving, and it's like destroying records. It's got the most number of active people playing it, and free on Game Pass, and they seem to be doing everything right. If you're going to get people into a game, make it cheap, make it accessible, put it on every platform. Give people what they want. Right. It's like I've seen it. It looks like Pokemon mixed with Rust, mixed with it looks cool, like big open world games, and I haven't played it yet, but definitely looks really cool.
Yeah, it ain't Mike. I don't like them little monster games, dude. I'm not. I'm good, man. I've always thought Pokemon was like a poor man's RPG. That's how I always felt about it. I'm just like, this is
Well-
like dumbed down RPG. Like it's not. I never liked it. Don't hate me. Sorry.
It's time for something to knock out Pokemon. They've been the king too long, man. So this game could do that.
Pokemon, they're the old king. You know what Pokemon is? Pokemon's like the guy who doesn't take care of his hot wife. You know, he lets himself go. He doesn't really care. You know, and you know, like some guy comes along and he's like, you know, hey, I'll treat you right. You know, and that's like the entire Pokemon fan base right now. They've just been neglected and abused. And they keep getting the same old fucking game over and over again with no fucking innovation, He's not taking me out dancing no more. He ain't buying me steak dinners, not like he used to. You know, we're not, you know, he's not doing it. And then some other guy comes over, he's like, come here, I'll show you what's good. And that's what Power World is. That's what Power World is. It's just wooed, it just took them all away. And then it's just, you know, and then Pokemon standing there, but don't you love me? Like, not anymore. Not like I used to. I'm sorry, this has gone on too long.
Dude, that's actually funny. But what system is the game on? Is it just PC?
It's on Steam. Is it on
Console?
Is it on PlayStation and Xbox?
No. Although I heard that the PS5, like, we're talking to them, they want to bring it to PlayStation, but it's not right now.
Okay. Wow. On those systems too, man. That's really cool. You know, like the PC and Steam.
Similar game that's doing a similar thing, but has the opposite effects that sells really well. Did you guys watch the Nintendo Direct at all?
No.
So they announced the new Mario.
I didn't know there was one.
When was there a Direct?
Was it like yesterday or?
Wow, Fixie keeping us laced up, man. What did
I
they
didn't
show,
know
man?
there was a Direct.
I'm like,
Yeah, they had like a new Mario versus Donkey Kong game, and like it looks like all the old ones, but I want to pick it up and play it, and I'm sure it'll be just as fun. Because if it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
Right, 100%.
Oh, let's screw Nintendo. Let's talk about PlayStation. Did you guys see the trailer for Judas?
Nah.
Oh, okay. So, do you guys like BioShock?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so it's the same people who made BioShock. It's like a new game, but it's not BioShock. But it looks pretty much like BioShock, but kind of looks like Infinite. Dude, it looks dope. I'm pretty excited about it. I love those games. Like I said, they're in my top like 3 games maybe of all time. I love BioShock that much. So Judas looks dope. I would highly recommend you check that out.
Okay.
We're getting the Hellraisers too. It's kind of cool.
Hellraiser.
Like working on
Helldivers.
Oh, okay. I was to say, we just got a Hellraiser movie. I mean, a game.
Dude, a Hellraiser game, I would literally be fucking. That would be my number one most excited. Dude, I would love that. Dude, Pinhead is my favorite. Pinhead is the greatest, in my opinion, evilest villain of all time. Like Pinhead is, like, let me put it this way: if you had to be like, what villain would you just not want to show up? Like, if someone walks through the door, who would you not want it to be? I would pick. I don't want it to be Pinhead.
Dude.
I don't want it to be Pinhead. Everybody else can just kill me once. Pinhead, he's like, I will torture you for all eternity. I'm like, no.
He would tear everybody apart. They had like a battle royale with all the movie villains. Like Pinhead would come out on top easily.
You think you know pain?
That would be a good movie. Like a Hunger Games with just villains from movies.
Oh wow, the battle royale.
Yeah, that'd be sick. No, but Helldivers, I don't know. I never played Helldivers 1, so I don't know. But Helldivers 2 looks cool, but I know it's like a different perspective. I think the old one was like top down, and this one's like third person, right?
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Those it looks all right. That's not really my cup of tea. But you know what I am extremely excited for is this is honestly the most excited announcement is the new Metro Awakening VR game.
Oh yeah,
I've
seen that, and I thought Joe's gonna love this.
Oh, dude, I did. You were not wrong about that. Like, you know me, I like VR a lot. I'm just obviously I'm an enthusiast. You know what I mean? Like, not as much as I love Pokemon, but you know, I'm really into it. And I also really fucking like the Metro games. I think they're fantastic. Like, I loved it. I played the newest one recently, and I absolutely enjoyed it. So, yeah, I am going to dig Metro Awakening. I'm really looking forward to it. It's nice to see like a like a kind of a more popular IP getting a little VR love too. Like you know how they came out with that Horizon game. I feel like this is like, other than them adding like, whoa, you can play Resident Evil and you can do that too. Like this is like, I'm not like a first, like this is made for VR and it's like a main title.
Yeah, like we were
They need
talking
to
a
do
couple
that
of weeks
more.
ago, there aren't VR games where this is, if you want to play it, you can't just play it. You need a VR,
I want more like dedicated VR experiences of popular franchises. Like that would be sick. Like they need to do this with whatever. Like I
Like a
said,
Silent Hill VR. Would you play
Sure.
that?
Well, I would argue
that'll
that VR almost need an IP like
every
Silent.
horror game should have a VR mode.
Here's an
Every
exclusive
horror
game that will sell VR2s, because right now there isn't really one.
Well, the thing about that, I talked about this a few years ago, man. Like horror games get the blood pumping, right? But can it be scary enough to like give somebody a heart attack? That's the thing about horror games, man. Like you're seeing it in VR, you thinking you're really around this stuff, dude. It might cause some serious, I don't know, man. Like scaring you to death or something like that. Not that that'll happen, but it's a possibility. That might be the reasons why they're not really pushing something like Silent Hill. I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's just like we'll see what happens. Maybe they will.
I feel like they will.
Well, they need to hurry up and do it though. You know what I'm saying? Like the PS VR 2 is out, and there's nothing really like demanding people to go out and buy it. You know what I mean? Like it's like that would sell like VRs immediately, but they don't have nothing out for it like that.
Sony's weird. It's like this the Vita and the VR2 and the VR. It's like if the initial sales push isn't like unbelievable, they drop support real fast. Like I feel like they lose confidence too quickly, and like they don't understand. Like it's not going to just catch like wildfire like that. Like you might have to build a foundation that takes a little while. And to be honest with you, they screwed up real bad because they treated their VR1 customers like shit when they went to VR2. Yeah, nothing ported over, none of your games. If you wanted to play them on PS5, you had to like pay for upgraded versions for all your games. No backwards compatibility whatsoever. Like it was just like, I'm sorry, like
you didn't even get DLC that you paid for, right? You had to rebuy all that stuff.
Everything, like
they left it up to the companies to work on the games or whatever like that. It's just it was really bad, and it really put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of how they did the Vita when the Vita didn't pop up off for them like they wanted it to. And it was up to the developers of these indie titles like Limited Run bringing out games for it. It really supported the Vita like until like the end. So. Because we would have lost that
more games than Sony did for the Vita. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. 100%. That Vita would have died in 2015, I think, or maybe around that time was when Sony stopped their official their official news for it that they weren't going to support it anymore. So Limited Run and the other companies picked up slack for it, and the Vita following, like the Vita groups on Facebook, man, they're pretty strong.
If it was up to Sony, they would remove the word Vita from people's vocabulary. That's how they.
Well, the Vita failed. It was their fault. The Vita failed, man, because they were so obsessed with not like the system being pirated, like the PSP. Now the PSP sold well, but still people pirated it and did what they want with it. But it still sold very well. But Sony wasn't about that. So what killed the Vita was those memory cards, man.
They were so expensive, man.
They were, and it's like, dude, like, come on, you want to put these big titles on here and take up all this memory? This is too expensive. Like, they killed it. I mean,
and they were going up against the 3DS, which, but that was way cheaper, and the library on the 3DS was fucking badass, and it supported GS, which had a massive library too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bought a 3DS over the Vita at the time. I even went that direction. I was like, nah, man, screw you. I'm playing Metroid.
Sony had a lot of bad ideas, man. Remember the PSP? I mean, people wanted it to be backwards compatible with the Vita, but obviously you couldn't. But the whole thing, the PSP Go, you guys remember that?
Yeah.
They tried to pump that up.
on.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Come on. Like all these games I have and I get to buy them digital now. Like it just didn't make any sense,
I heard that was a really fun system to play with though. Like people who own it really like the PSP Goes.
Yeah, you buy that sucker, dude, and I probably should try to get one now. I haven't.
Getting one now is worth it. And they're pretty cool. They come in different colors too. I've seen like a white one, black one. I think there's a blue one too. They're pretty rad.
Just get you that good memory card in there and like a large memory card, and boom, you're good to go.
Yeah, and now you can get adapters for even the Vita to throw SD cards in there. You don't have to buy those insane memory cards anymore.
Nice.
So they're
just for collectors to not open and put them on the shelves these days.
Yeah.
Well, they're like $400. So, like, are you opening this thing because you're gonna cut the price down in half? You know, it's crazy.
There is still like a pretty strong Vita homebrew community out there too that still support it and do things. But
well, you remember how big it got when the freaking PlayStation TV got hacked? 100%.
Hell yeah!
All those Vita TVs, man. When like I got some from like on clearance or whatever like that. But as soon as that thing happened, dude, like they were being bought up, man. Like, dude, and then these skyrocketed in price. It was insane. You know what's crazier? One of the most expensive Vita items is the Vita stand for the TV. It's like a stand you can put in and hook it into, man. That thing is so rare and goes for like money. And it's just an accessory where you just have the Vita TV like hooked into like kind of like a console, but it keeps it still. And it's really cool, but it's so expensive. And nobody tried to remake them or bring them out again because I guess Sony wanted it to disappear pretty much. So you have to look for other companies to make those stands. But yeah, just thought I'd bring that up.
It's just generally a really rare item that there's only a certain amount out there. It makes sense.
I heard news, you know, Smash AT, as another YouTuber out there, he talked about somebody leaked a possible Vita Part 2.
Yeah, I saw some news about that too.
I mean, I gotta admit, man, my blood started pumping, man. I was like, dude, like, you serious? Like the Vita 2? Like, I want it, man, if they're able to do it. But at the same time, Sony's got to do it right, though, man. You know, they got to, like, look at the mistakes they made with the PSP and the Vita and correct those immediately if they make another portable system. It's got to have physical games on it, too, though. And I heard that it's supposed to be as powerful as the possible PS4. So, I mean,
yeah, the news I saw said that it should like natively run PS4 like level games, no problem. It should also be able to play PS5 games, but some developers would have to like patch it to play on it because, or like dumb it down, like how they do with the Switch. Same thing, like you know, they always have like a version for mobile or whatever, or for Switch. Well, so, but like I don't know about playing physical. I doubt that. I doubt they'd come out with carts for it. I have a feeling they would just.
I feel that would be
digital.
the road. I feel like it would be more of a what's the new PlayStation portable device that you just bought, Joe? The
Portal.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be more of a Portal than a PS Vita PSP. It'll be like a home console that you can buy games on and install, and it'll be a portable thing, but you can't put games in and buy them and sell them.
See, Fixie, if that's the case, if that's the case, then just get a Steam Deck, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's no reason to get it if they don't have. They got to appeal to everybody's wants for a new portable system. If they do it, for me, obviously, it's got to be physical games.
Max Donley just said more like a PSP Go. You know, exactly. It'll be like that. And we know for a fact that these companies don't want to produce physical media anymore. So Sony aren't going to start making cards if they don't have to, because we know they don't want to. So they already don't want to make CDs and Blu-rays, which is like the cheapest form of media out there. So
yeah, they want all of them. They want digital only, and it's showing. You know.
So the Portal is awesome. By the way, I you know, I don't know if people have gotten used to it, but it works great, and I really like it, and I think it's fantastic for what it does. But I just I don't know, like if Nintendo has any brains and they just make a new Switch and they don't reinvent the wheel, and it's just they stick with physical carts and they stick with physical media, and Sony and Xbox don't. I'm sorry, like Nintendo's going to be getting all my money.
Yeah, 100%. I feel the same way.
I'm not doing that. If Switch 2 has carts and the PlayStation Vita 2 does not have carts, I'm not buying. I'll probably buy a Vita 2. I'll probably buy it. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not fucking. I'll be buying my games physically on the Switch. Sorry.
Well, Japan has always pretty much been all about the physical. I think they're strong about physical games, so I think Nintendo would always keep physical games coming. So yeah, but I'm with you though, Joe. If that happens, which I feel is going to happen already. I mean, Microsoft has already went that route. Sony's going to fall in suit. So
I can't be mad at Microsoft. I haven't been buying this shit anyway, so they can do whatever they want.
Well, after the Xbox One, man, they really been trying to push that Game Pass stuff, man. So, which is fine. Allows you to get it for $1. Just renew.
Yeah, but I think Game Pass is a good deal too. Like,
yeah,
it's $1, and there's so many games on there that just came out. Like, generally think it's a good deal. But you go on Sony right now, I can't justify buying PS Plus.
No.
It's expensive. You don't get much for your money. You get to play online, but
you can get Game Pass to work on.
They don't have the plethora of games that the Xbox Game Pass though has. Not even close to that list.
You can get Game Pass to work on a Steam Deck, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so then there you go. That's a good pairing right there. I could see that being pretty. I would rather do that than get a PlayStation Vita, to be honest with you. At that point, like, so once it's an all digital world, I don't care about buying it or downloading it or owning it or whatever. You're just renting it no matter what, the way you look at it. Right. You're always just renting it. You never own it. Even if you download it, if that hard drive dies and they close it down, you don't really own it. It's just so I don't care at that point. I would rather just have maybe a streaming service to play games digitally if I'm not buying them. So whatever company will give me the option to physically own my games permanently, that's the one that I'll actually spend money on, and the rest I'll probably just go and hack and steal shit. I don't care. I'm not going to pay for it. I don't.
Precisely, Joe, and we're probably going to be on PC because you can do that on a PC. If I had the option of new game comes out, I really want to play it. It's on PlayStation, it's on the Switch, it's on PC, and it's physical only, and it's $100. Well, guess what? I'm jumping on my PC and I'm putting my little eye patch on, and I'm going, my hearties, let's get this game for free.
The piracy is gonna be crazy. That's for sure, dude.
It's true though. Like, same when the music scene happened. Like when they stopped making CDs, why would you pay $1.69 on iTunes when the whole music subscription thing makes sense because you get all this music for a low price, where you might be paying a lot a year, but that initial price makes it seem like you're getting a good deal, and customers have to feel like they're getting a good deal to want to keep spending money.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people give up on like a lot of streaming services lately too. They're just like, I'm done, and they're going back to pirating. So I remember all these people who they were sick of cable, so they started pirating, and then streaming came along, and it was like a good deal, and it was convenient. So they like, all right, so they did that, and they stopped pirating, and now streaming sucks. They're all like, I'm just going back to pirating because, like, the amount of commercials is out of control on these things, dude. Like, it is absurd. Like, YouTube, literally, they will show you a commercial now, and it's an hour. It's an hour-long infomercial in the middle of my 10-minute video. I'll be watching a 10-minute video, and a commercial will come on, and all of a sudden I'll be like, dude, why have I been hearing about this fucking stupid-ass thing for the last 15 minutes? What the fuck is this? And it's just, it's a commercial. It's like, dude, like, it's gotten out of control. Like, and like, I know I can just pay for YouTube Red or pay for that, but after a while, I'm like, I don't want to be paying for all this shit that I barely use. You know what I mean? Like, I work and then I play games and I watch TV or whatever, maybe an hour a day. Maybe an hour a day. I'm not paying for 17 streaming networks and freaking ad-free services on 12 different things. Like, it's not worth it. I'd rather just pirate stuff, and then on the spare time I do have, I'll watch it, and we're good. No commercials, no worry. HD, like, I love it.
Well, that's what happened to me the other day. I was watching Amazon, and I watched a show called Reacher, man, which is a great show. And I already watched it, but I wanted to go back and watch a couple of episodes. And then it came up, this thing popped up saying, we're charging for, not to see it for no ads or whatever like that. It said $2 or $3, something like that. It's like, no, I'm already paying for the service. Let me watch my show.
Yeah, you're already paying for it.
I went to watch it, right? And I had to rewind it. Boom, commercial waiting for me. I was like, what the hell, dude? So I just tried to skip it when I could. Then when I got to the part I wanted to, I skipped a little bit forward. Boom, another commercial hit me. I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me, dude. I just want to see a certain scene, and I got hit with 2 commercials already.
Yep.
And I was like, this is insane.
They're making sure you get your $4 worth of ads that you didn't pay for.
That's what Hulu broke my girlfriend because of that exact reason. It's not even the commercials, but like when you're searching and you're trying to skip around or find your spot or whatever, commercial, you get stuck in it over and it's like
horrible.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like if you you fall asleep in it, like, you know, like the episode starts towards the end of an episode. So if you the next day you go to watch it and you try to like find where you were, so you're screwed. You're screwed. You get like commercial. And guess what? It's not like there's like a whole bunch of really entertaining commercials. No, it's the same 3 stupid, annoying commercials over and over and over and over again. And it's usually something you'll never even buy. So the whole thing is like just a torturous exercise because it's something that you're not even interested. Like YouTube, I don't even know what kind of crack this thing is smoking. I get bra ads all the time. It's like, are your boobs chafing? You need a new bra. And I'm like, YouTube, what are you doing? Why are you wasting? Why are we wasting each other's time here? What's the point of this? You're just scamming this nice boob bra company's ad money. Like you're wasting their money. Like why are you showing?
YouTube are making money. They don't care. Hey, I want to bring something up.
I know
today.
they don't care.
Well, real fast. That's why that this is going to bring like more piracy because people will say, "What shows are on Netflix?" I don't want to watch on Netflix. They'll just download them and watch them in peace. You know, so that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and because it's like perfect example is like HBO Max. I don't give a rat's ass what's on that network. I just want to watch House of Dragons. So once that comes out, I'll just freaking rip that shit, and I'm good. I don't need. Why would I ever pay for the rest of that garbage? Like I have no interest, zero interest.
It's interesting because if they made it like $3 or like $2, really, really cheap, people would just pay for it because it's cheap, it's accessible. Sure. I don't have to go and download it. So there's that middle ground where companies have to be like, all right, people are going to pirate stuff if it's too expensive. I remember when Netflix first started, everyone was watching Netflix because it was cheap.
Yeah, and it had all the good content on
that to get customers again. I want to talk about YouTube quickly. Yeah. Do you guys know what YouTube are doing right now if people use ad blockers?
Oh, Lord, no.
Like
so if people have, say, Google Chrome and they're watching YouTube on it, which is owned by Google Chrome, YouTube will purposely make your browser not run. So you think something's wrong on your end, but YouTube is slowing your browser down because you're trying to watch YouTube videos with ad blocker.
They want to force you to get on that premium.
I was watching a guy stream the other day. He was streaming fine, like obviously good internet to stream. He couldn't watch a YouTube video. He's like, "Is YouTube down?" No, it was YouTube not letting him watch it because he had ad blocker on.
Can they get away with that?
They own the program, man. They own
it's probably illegal in some places in the world, but it's like one of those things where like by the time it takes them to do anything about it, who cares? It's like, you know,
people will find a way to get around it though. But that's crazy they did that.
So the ad blocking companies like bring out new updates and they're like, hey, delete the old one, download this one, it works again, and then YouTube will bring in a new thing.
You know, just keep going around and keep it going. You know, so.
It's never ending.
Well, you can switch browsers. Switching browsers is definitely
Well, what's a good browser to use? What do you guys use?
Opera GX. It's designed for gaming.
Oh, okay. I have that one. I just don't use it.
I use Ask Jeeves.
Is that still around? You're kidding me.
Internet Explorer. Bing.
I use Bing. Yeah, nobody uses Bing. Did you guys see the thing for Stella Blade? What do you think about Stella Blade?
I saw the physical for it for PS5, but I didn't really see the game. Is it a AAA type title?
Yes. I think to me it looks like a AAA action game, kind of like a Bayonetta type vibe.
Just hopefully not with the Bayonetta like actions, because Bayonetta was annoying.
No, this one looks like more free flowing fighting.
Okay.
Basically, what's great about this too is like, you know how they have this thing in the gaming industry where they keep making like all the female characters ugly as fuck. You notice they make them like just completely unattractive but ugly.
What, a new Fable trailer?
Like fucking.
Oh my god, what was that?
I don't know. They all just look like a bunch of fucking short-haired lesbians, basically.
Well, I feel like that's happening, Joe.
It is, but not Stella Blade. Stella Blade's got this beautiful long-haired Asian woman with all this curves and a big, sweet, fat, juicy booty. And it looks beautiful for that very reason. So I'm going to buy it for that very reason because I support what I love and I support the art that I want to see. and
on.
I want game companies to stop being obtuse and stop doing stuff. Stop like I like big, hot, juicy booties. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about that. I don't care if that makes people mad or upset or think I'm a bad person or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I buy video games. That's what I like. I want to see hot, sexy fucking women in my games. Put them in my games. If you do that, I'll give you money. And if you don't, I won't. All right. That's the deal. And people need to just realize that's how it is. All right. Stop trying to change the world. You're not going to change the world, you idiots. You're never going to stop me from liking big, sweet, juicy booties. You're never going to. You're never going to. No matter how many times you tell me not to, and I'm a bad person or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I like that. That's what I want to see. Put it in the game. End of story. So everybody buy that game. That's my rant.
Well, you guys know why that's happening, right? That's happening because certain developers are being hired, and they're kind of like putting their influence into these games. Like they're saying, well, if they're creating these games,
exactly,
they want the characters to look like
ugly
them.
women are getting hired at these companies, and ugly women are like,
yeah,
I don't like that all these boys like the pretty girls. I want all the boys to like me.
And here's a funny game I noticed it with too, which is like just a regular indie title, but the new Battletoads game. I was like, when I saw the character art for the Battletoads game, I was like, what the hell? And then I saw the Dark Queen looked in it. I was like, dude, come on, man. Like the Dark Queen, probably one of the most beautiful looking villains ever. And the way she looks in that new Battletoads game, I was like, dude, this is horrible. Then I looked into who made the game, and sure enough, it was somebody who wasn't that attractive. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. So they gotta stop that, man, because it's gonna kill.
A thing like
absurd. So why doesn't what I want to know is how come when the new God of War comes out, you know, fucking Kratos doesn't have a big fat beer belly, and why doesn't he have like a big fucking, you know, pimply ass, and why isn't he fucking, you know, got like big nose hairs? Why doesn't he, you know, why does he like this big strong jacked fucking human who looks like a fucking Greek guy? You know, that you know, that's the image that they can sell all the time, and that's no problem. But like for some reason, women like aren't allowed to be attractive. Like, I just don't understand the logic. It makes no sense. What also makes no sense though. All right, well, I don't want to go off on this too bad. Anyway, this will be a totally different show.
So they can make a really realistic show, have a really attractive main character, but she charges $1.99 a month. See if
Yeah,
Oh Lord!
You know what I am looking also forward to? Did you see they're doing the PS5 PC like update for Until Dawn? Did you see that they're doing that?
Oh, I did see that.
Okay,
Yeah, Until Dawn was like the first game I got for my PS4. You know what's funny about that game? Because I watched horror movies a lot, especially back then. I kind of know what to do in those situations, and everybody survived on my first playthrough. I mean, it was scary, but I managed to get everybody to survive. I mean, not all of them liked each other at the end, but I got them to survive. But I'm shocked that they're remaking that game because I feel like Supermassive Games, they're making the Dark Anthology series right now. So I would think they would go back and make Until Dawn, but maybe it's like a celebration because it's been out for so many years now. I think it's been 10 years, right?
It's like it's like a little anniversary thing. Also, I don't know. It seems like in the trailer they had the narrator from the anthology series. You know, the guy with the hat they always have in all the. He was like narrating.
He was in it. Whoa, okay.
So I think they've like added extra content and souped it up, and I think that they're gonna like incorporate it into like the whole anthology finally, like officially. That's what it feels like to me. But and they say they have like added content. But getting back to my other point is I hope that it's like an extra hour of the girl from Heroes in the bathroom towel. That's what I'm hoping. I hope they added like a whole extra hour of gameplay of that specifically. That's the greatest part of the whole game, and you all know it if you've played the game. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the best part of the game.
Cheerleader girl.
Yeah.
Save the cheerleader. What was that? The tagline?
Whatever.
Every other character dies, you've just saved her.
I mean, it's just that game Until Dawn is a crazy game, man, because if your characters get killed in that game, they get killed nasty. Like the things you run into that game are the accidents, the monsters, they pull no punches, man. I was like, dude, seeing how some people got killed in the game, I was like, wow, that's pretty messed up. So I'm looking forward to it. Just hopefully it'll push the PS5, you know, to really I obviously wanted to run in 4K. it'd be dreamy if it could run at 4K and 60 frames per second, but we've got to choose one or the other. Unless the PS5 Pro comes out, which is that still a thing? Is that still
it's theorized? I hope it's a thing.
I think it's just a thing like the Switch 2 is a thing. It's an internet-made thing that threads on Twitter every couple of days, but isn't real.
I want it to be real because we could use a bit more power because I feel like PS6 will. Well, I think it'll still be physical, but I shouldn't even go there. I have no idea what the PS6 is going to be. So
I hope it's twice as big as the original PS5.
Twice as big?
Yes, I want it to be like I want it to be like this big, man. I want it to the PS5 is is a tank, man. It is absolutely absurd how big that console is. I still to this day think it's the most hideous PlayStation console by a million.
It's ugly hell, dude.
It's so bad.
The way the stand works, and you can't sit it down sideways.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean,
it's a desktop.
Slim is a disgrace.
To display it like it's a desktop, and it's ridiculous, like a tower or something.
I mean, it runs well, obviously, but maybe that's why the design is so poor because they waited this. I don't know.
Oh, it runs fine. I've had no issues with it, but the Slim with the little plastic feet. Oh, what a shit show, dude. That is just like if you design a console and it can't stand up, like you just did it wrong. And I'm sorry, you just failed at your job. Like you did a bad job. It should be able to just, I don't know, not fall over on its own. Like if a breeze comes through the room, it shouldn't just collapse. I don't know, like, oh my dude.
The next PlayStation will be like an art sculpture.
What the hell? I don't understand the design team. Same thing. And another thing, I just want to bitch about the Portal for a second, the PS Portal. They put the charging port like in the front, in the middle, behind the screen. It's the worst fucking spot you could possibly have chosen for the goddamn charging port. It's so unbelievably awkward and uncomfortable to plug it in and charge it. And I just hate it. I'm like, why wouldn't you put it on the top? I'm sorry. It just the whole whoever is in charge of designing things for the PlayStation this generation sucks. You suck. I hate all your work. I hate it. Whoever did the 4, amazing. I love 4. I love how the original 4 looked. I liked how the Slim looked. I liked how the Pro looked. I liked how all the custom consoles looked. I liked the controllers. It all great. It was great.
The color scheme, the cases and everything.
The only thing that's
and pasted, kept the blue cases, but changed the artwork to white.
It was great. The only thing that was ridiculous was the PSVR 1 because it had 47 cables to hook it up. Like hooking up that was absurd. But that was more like a technological limitation than a design, thing.
You need to plug it into this box, which goes into this adapter, which plugs into the back of this thing.
We don't deal with racism around here, Joel. I'm just kidding. No, I agree with you. It should not have been white. I absolutely couldn't stand that it was white because I have my, all jet black PlayStation 3, my jet black PlayStation 4, and then an all white PS5 next to it. It's like that was the first thing I did is I bought the black plates as soon as they were available, and I put the black plates on it because I couldn't stand the fact that it was white. And then on the PSVR 2, I was so irritated that they never came out with other color options. Like, I was like, why is there only white? Like, I still don't like that. Like, it would be so much cooler if you could have a blue PSVR, or a red one, or a purple one, just like all the other colors they came out with. That would be wicked cool if you could have a matching thing for that. But,
Hey, Sony, if you want to increase your VR 2 sales by 6, just make some colors and you got 6.
I would. Oh yeah, I would have bought probably more than one of them. Oh yeah. I'm sick like that. But they are really expensive.
The white one, right? Like, it's not too hard of colors to make, surely.
Yeah, I would have loved that. Or what they should have done is they should have had the snap-on plates or something. Like you could change the plates like they did with the console. You could just buy different plates or something like that. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Skins are all right. I wouldn't mind skins. Skins work. I mean, you can go that route.
Well, what do you guys think is the best looking PlayStation system?
I can't get past the PS2. The fat boy PS2 with the little thing that spins on the front, the disc tray that comes out.
stand it up too.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Fixie. I think the PS2 was the best looking PlayStation system of all time, especially if you got like
that one, the original.
Yeah, the
fat one?
original PS2.
That one definitely. Yeah.
I'm actually pretty partial to the PS2 Slim. I think that's a gorgeous console.
That's a good one too.
I just
very practical to own. They stand up sideways too, and they have. Have you ever seen the stands for them? They're really cute.
Really?
they're nice. Yeah, I like them.
Okay, so we're all pretty much in agreement. PS2 was the system, best looking PlayStation system. Next
I
to
do
that, I
like
would say
the
PS1.
I like the PS3 Fat too. I do.
I'm going PS3.
Really?
After that, but
Yeah. So for PS1, I actually, you know which one I like is I like the smaller one you could attach the screen to. That little one. I love that one.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's dope.
Do you have the screen for it?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I know.
Oh man, and I remember like haggling with this motherfucker because he wanted like $50, and I'm like, no way, bro. And I talked him down to like 30 fucking bucks. I remember like
highway robbery.
yeah, bro. I was like 50. You crazy? Like this is back a little while ago, and like now they're like going for like $200. It's like, god damn, I was such
Dude,
a
I remember I did like
such a jerk. I didn't realize it, but yeah, sorry.
I did a PlayStation video like on screens because I have like all the different variations of screens in that video. Like, man, I went back and looked at it a few months back. I was like, damn, dude, I got way too many screens. But I got them for cheap because nobody wanted them and they didn't care about them. Now they see them out in the wild. Oh my god, people be all over them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw somebody selling like a brand new one in the box the other day for like $500. I was like,
what?
Yeah,
$500.
Yeah, sealed. But I mean, it's a marketplace. Fucking
even not Sony ones, like old video security system screens go for a lot of money these days. Those old CRTs.
Oh, those little monitors. Yeah, those things go for mad money, dude. That's because they have RGB input, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that's
you guys got any pickups or games to show off today?
Yeah, I got some pickups. A couple thanks to Joe Rad. But you guys want to do that now?
Yeah.
You got first already?
All right.
Oh, he's got the fucking squirt water game right next to him, dude.
You see it?
He's showing that off. That's dope. Hell yeah. That's a big one too. That thing's deluxe.
Ninja Turtles squirt water game.
That's rad.
Oh, that's cool.
I just emptied it actually. I just emptied it because it had water in it. But
dude, I used to love those, dude.
You shoot the basketball and add the points and everything like that. So pretty cool to have.
Dude, I used to have like a ring toss one, you get the rings on.
What you guys got really impressed with? I was actually working on a video for this. It just never came out. I haven't got to it yet. But I got a Ninja Turtles countercade, and it's portable.
Nice.
So you can see the back here. I got the battery pack hooked up to it, so you can take it portable anywhere you go. So,
wow.
It's got the light up marquee. Obviously, the 2-player one, which they made a 1-player one, which I thought was stupid for one of these. It's got to be 2 players.
Why would you want to beat them up 1 player like that, especially the game like that? No, that's got to be.
Yeah, and they needed to add more games onto here. They got Ninja Turtles and Turtles in Time. They could have added like a couple more like Konami beat 'em ups, like Vendetta or something else. Maybe I'll be able to add it, but this is hard to find. My buddy Will found it for me, and we did a trade because everybody's trying to charge like way overpriced for these right now because they're like they're out of stock or whatever. So I wasn't going to do that, but he found one, and I got it from him. And I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check about modding it or whatever like that. But here I want to show you guys. Here's the Ninja Turtle, the first game. Listen to the intro song. See if it sounds familiar.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtle power.
Did that sound kind of different?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah, they changed the song, I guess, for copyright issues. But
is that the Mike Patton version? Because Mike Patton sang on the new game. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, he does the vocals for the new Shredder's Revenge. That's Mike Patton. Yeah,
it definitely sounded right.
But I still like the intro. But the real game on here that's really good is Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time doesn't get a lot of love for the arcade version. But it's a better game than the first Turtles. It's just that a couple of things are weird in it, like the Shredder boss sucks in it. Nothing will surpass the Shredder boss in the first Ninja Turtles arcade game. The multiple Shredder clones, that was insane seeing that as a kid. I was like,
that's a big flex. Everyone's sitting around at the dentist office waiting to go in. Some kid's playing on his phone. Some kid pulls out a Game Boy. Reggie pulls out a
About
fucking
the freaking
Turtle.
arcade.
He's like,
Ready to go, man. That's the thing, right?
Imagine playing that on the airplane.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you just walk up to have this on your show. Hey, let's play some Ninja Turtles. And
You and the kid playing Ninja Turtles again? No.
So these, well, damn, I don't know what the hell hold on. Oh, I got these today. Let me unwrap them real fast. But I got some games from a Super Rare. And this one, Jason had told me about, said it was a really weird game. But this is called the Happy Game. And so I got to take it out of this plastic. You guys heard of this one?
Nice.
Actually, I haven't.
He said it's one of the most trippiest games you could ever play because everybody's all happy in it. But, behind those smiles is something sinister. And as you play the game, like the happiness turns into some weird stuff. And just, I don't know what to expect with this game. But, I mean, maybe I could be happy for a little bit. But then who knows, man. But it looks kind of trippy. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. And then, damn, they wrap this stuff up tight. We got a PS. Yeah, they put that stuff to you protected. We got the Source of Madness for PS4.
Nice, dude.
Nice, that was great.
So I heard good things about this game. I used to have a Switch copy, but I wanted it on PS4, so boom, there's that.
Yeah, it's like a roguelike 2D action game inspired by Cthulhu, Lovecraftian horror.
Nice.
And thanks to Joe, I got Space Blaze.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best shooters of all time. If you ever played Space Blaze, you have to get this game. It's like the best shooter you'll ever play. Trust me.
Dude, don't
go on eBay, guys. You can get
no.
$30 retail right now. They're not like $200 on. They're $200
I'll
on
show you
eBay. But, I'll find the link and I'll post it in chat so you guys can pick that up.
What else do we have here?
Reggie, this is the best. This is the best shooter of all time. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, Lord. Red Art Games, man.
Number one, Ice Cream Surfer, brother. If you haven't played this, you haven't lived.
Wow. That's hilarious.
The Space Blaze is pretty bad.
I don't know if I showed these games, but they were in one of my last pickups videos. But you guys let me know if I showed them or not. I got Under Night in Birth Part 2.
Nice.
Oh, you got it on the Switch.
I played the first one. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The Part 2, just as fun. They add 3 characters. I feel like for these fighting games, they make a sequel. They got to add at least 5 new characters. But then they're adding that season pass to this stuff, so it's like annoying. But with this game, it feels like a good package for $50. So I'm totally happy with what you get. Hopefully, me and Joel can have some battles on it. Joel's been avoiding me when it comes to Under Night and Birth, like playing that game online. But hopefully, he'll join me one of these days. And then we got Ether Knights. I always mess his name up. But this is a game I've been playing. It's kind of like Persona, but this game is trippy as hell, though. The world goes, like, something happens with the world where everybody has to go to a shelter, and people mutate into these weird mutants and everything like that, and they turn violent, kind of like that movie, what was it called? 28 hours later, or 28 days later. 28 hours. Anyways, it's kind of like that, the way people are when they saw it. So it's really fun. You have characters that help you. Really cool action beat 'em up brawler RPG, I would say. So happy to have that.
It definitely sounds like one of those games that people are going to find out about it later rather than sooner and want to pick it up.
Right, and this is the
element and everything.
And it's the company's first game too. So I got it on Woot for $15, and the game just came out. It was going for $40, so I was like, hell yeah, Woot. Got that deal going on.
Yeah, the PS4 copy. The PS5 copy's on Amazon for like $25 too. Even it's really cheap. That'll be a hidden gem for sure, I feel.
Oh, 100%. And then just to let everybody know, I was moving some furniture around in the game room and found something I thought I lost like 5 years ago. I got my PS3 Game Genie.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Unlock those codes, man. Save them game cheats. Pretty cool. I don't know if it's active anymore because it might be online. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. But still, it was kind of cool to have back in the day. You didn't want to do too much grinding. You level up a little bit faster. Thought it was cool. Yeah. And then,
Warhammer Bolt Gun. This one on sale on Woot too.
Mm.
Nice.
Boomer Shooter. So I got that one. Looking forward to this one. Boomer Shooters, man, they're really a throwback. So a lot of fun. You know, the movement is kind of crazy in the games, but once you get used to it, they become a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one you have like a chainsaw arm, and you can like fly and smash everybody in the face with like a melee attack. It's actually
yeah?
fun. Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the original for the PS3.
Nice.
This was one of those games I got in that $10 sale, like 4 games for $10. So I picked this one up.
That's kind of mode in it that it's not zombies, but it's sort of like a survival mode that's hardcore, and you can play it. I play it with my buddy when he comes around, and
it's co-op too.
Progress, so you unlock things, and then you can get the better weapons, and you know the more you play it, the easier it gets because you've already got to level 30, and yeah, it's so much fun. We love it. Like we still played it last year, so.
And it's still online, which is great. So I love that, and it's free online.
Still free, but still free.
And then I got Ni no Kuni. I already have this on PS4, but I got this because I couldn't find another game for the deal, so I picked this one up. I can use the red case for one of my horror games too. So
I love Ni no Kuni, the first one. It was such a beautiful game.
It is. It really is. How'd you feel about the second one?
I didn't get into the second one like the first one. I played it for like 10 hours, and it just didn't hook me. And it's one of those games that went back on the shelf, and that's where it's set.
I hear you on that. And
second one's dope, dude. You should give it. I think it's really good.
I'm a big level 5 studio person, so I will probably give it another go.
Well, I love them ever since Rogue Galaxy. Have you guys ever played that game?
Yeah.
Dark Cloud, Dark Chronicle, Rogue Galaxy. That is the trilogy that I absolutely love. Dark Cloud's probably like my number 1 PS2 game of all time.
Next game here, Evil Within Part 2 for Xbox.
Nice.
Probably my favorite survival horror game of all time. And the reason because of that is the story was really well done in this game. A lot of survival horror games don't like their stories kind of fall apart towards the end, but that game story got stronger, which I was like, dude, this is good. And then the last game I got was Rogue Stormers. Sedesco. Joe, you probably know about this one.
Nice.
I randomly saw this one. I said, I don't have that. Let me try that one out. So
yeah, that's like a 2D Contra style game.
Right. And
it's a pretty good game though. That's actually not a bad game. It's pretty fun.
That's pretty much it for my pickups. Yeah.
Well, guys, I haven't got any pickups, but I pulled some cool stuff out of the collection to show you guys.
Yeah.
So there's some slip covers of the Call of Juarez, the Cartel on PS3. So this is the regular slip cover for it. It's got this really cool, like bullet holes on the front cover. But then there was a second one that has a bullet belt on it. Only slipcover I've ever seen that has this. So this is an extra piece of cardboard on the front that can be damaged, as you can see here. A lot of them you'll find without the belt because it's really fragile. But yeah, it's a really cool slipcover with a belt on the front.
That is kind of cool.
And then I started showing off my PS1 collection. We started with the number games, and I got up to Alone in the Dark, so I'll take you guys from there. I've pulled out 6 or 7 more in alphabetical order. Here we have Anna
Kournikova.
Smash Court Tennis. Can't say I've played
I would smash her court for sure.
I'm more of a Maria Sharapova fan.
Whatever.
Here we have Ace Escape.
I would smash that as well. I'm just kidding.
Ace Escape.
I'm sorry.
And this is the Australian case because it's the North American style, but it's the PAL case. We've got Bruce Willis's Apocalypse.
It's a good one.
Area 51.
Nice.
It's a light gun game, right?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun too.
There's a sequel to it, right?
Didn't know that. What's the sequel?
Yeah. It's called Maximum Force or something like that.
Area 69. No, it's Maximum.
I'm checking to see if I own it.
You might own it.
I just traded in Maximum Force the other day. I had like 2 or 3 PS1 light gun games, but I don't own a CRT. So I was like, nah. So I just traded them in because
That's fair.
know,
I'm
maybe
going for my
someday.
PS2 collection right now, and I'm pulling out like obscure games that like need the third party things, and I'm like, I don't have the guns, and it's not my Time Crisis collection, so I might just get rid of them. This next one's really cool. So I bought this before the Armored Core series like shot up in price, and I think I paid $50 at the time where I was like, that's a lot of money, and now it's like 4 times the price. This is Armored Core 1 on PS2, the PAL version. It's like in minty condition.
Dude.
First of the series, it's where it started. I didn't play it, but I watched gameplay of this on YouTube. It actually looks like heaps of fun. Like, it does not feel like a PS1 game. It feels like early PS2. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Next, we have... Oh, yeah, these next 2 are from the same series. So there are 11 of these games on the PS1. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got a few of them. I only have 2. I have 2 Army Men games, missing 9 of them.
Oh, that's the Omega Soldier. Yeah.
So we got Omega Soldier and Sarge's Heroes. These are like the Lego games of the PS1 era.
Dude,
Cool.
Oh man, I played an Army Men game on N64, and I can't remember which one, but I fucking loved it, dude. I absolutely loved
Good
it.
fun. Like,
Yeah,
why don't
they
we
were
have
really
Army Men
fun.
games anymore, though?
They were good stuff, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. You're up, Joe.
Right on.
Sweet. So I know I showed us some of these the other day, but I went out and bought like a whole bunch of like magazine protectors for my magazines. So I've been collecting these PlayStation magazines. Like,
Keep
I
them
have.
in good condition, man. Good job.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're these literally like I'm amazed they survived. Like they were just at my parents' house for years, and like I was like cleaning out one day and I found these in the box. And so then some of them are not in the greatest condition, but I don't even care. Just the fact that they still exist made me very happy. So I gotta.
Well, now that they're in these cases, they're going to stay in this condition for the rest of their lives.
Yes, they're not going to get any worse. And then I guess I'm trying not to dox myself. Some of these have my old address on them because these are like my magazines when I got. But like these, if they have like this one, for example, they come with like these stickers that would go on the lid of the PlayStation 1.
And the memory cards too, yeah.
And they'd have memory cards ones. Yeah. So if you have these issues and they have the stickers and stuff in them, they're worth a decent amount. Not a ton, but like this one I've seen like people ask like $50-$60 for if it has all the stickers and stuff. So pretty cool. I had no idea they were valuable. Like I see people sell stacks of them for like $100 to $200, and I'm like, I got like fucking 60 of these bad boys. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I just fucking love the artwork, dude. Get out of here, man! Like it's so awesome, dude.
That Nemesis like about to grab Jill, man. That's intense.
Yeah. And I just wanted to show this one to Figsy because he missed it last time.
That's cool.
Oh shit! Did I dox myself? Don't.
That's actually an
my grandma.
issue because that was the Zelda killer issue, and that photo is quite popular today.
Do you think it was the killer, Vixie?
No.
Yeah, I mean it's my favorite PS2 game. Like, so that was my first RPG, and I am a massive JRPG person. So that was the game that got me into the game genre I love.
Sega on PS2? Oh my god, guys! I don't know. I love the titles and I love the freaking headlines.
Sounds like our podcast titles.
So cool, dude. I love those magazines. So anyway, I'm trying to collect them. And just so you know, Chaos for Hire, are you still here? Are you still in this chat? I saw you on eBay. I know it's you because I was looking up these magazines and I found somebody who has selling all these magazines and his name is Chaos for Hire and I know it's you. So you contact me and you sell me all your PlayStation magazines, sir.
Immediately.
You do that right now. That is you. You talking to me? Is you on eBay? You have the store with all the PlayStation magazines? I want to buy. You have like 6 of them that I want, but I don't want to pay shipping on all 6, bro. We need the Bundaroo, the Black Friday Bundaroo.
Look at Joe making the deals, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes, those are yours. See, yes. So all right, we need to work this out. We'll get on touch with Facebook. We'll exchange details. You have like a whole bunch.
Discord, Joe, so you can
I'm not asking for no deal or anything. I just don't want to pay shipping on each freaking magazine.
Right,
bro.
bundle it together.
Yeah, little Black Friday Bundaroo. You know. All right. So I just got a few games, nothing too crazy. So I picked up this one. It's called State of Mind.
That game is weird, but it's cool. It's hard to explain.
It looks interesting, fascinating. It's like a point and click, like adventure type of game. It looks like kind of like a. I don't know. It's really hard to say because I accidentally bought the German version. I'll be honest with you. I made a mistake. So it has like a regular just Peggy release where it's all in English, but I actually bought the German one. So when I try to read the back, it's like, Kriminalten und Pragen dein Urtag genug. I have no idea what the game's about because it's in German, but it looks neat. It's like I said, it's one of these Daedalic entertainment games.
Oh yeah. You said you were gonna go for all those.
Yeah, I think I am gonna try to get all of these because
There's not that many, right?
No, there's maybe like a dozen, maybe something like that.
Doable.
But like I said, most of them are PAL exclusives. They didn't get released anywhere else. And a lot of them, they're very unique. They're cool games. I think they're like fascinating. And like a lot of them I actually want to play. Like I like these games. I like story-driven games like this. So this is one of them. So yeah, I'll probably end up buying the other version and selling this version. But it is what it is. So this one, I don't know why. I was fascinated by this one. It's called Rainbow Billy and
I used to have that game. Yeah.
I don't know if I really want to play it that much, but I just was in love with the art style, dude. And I know
it's like I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's like Cuphead, right? Look,
the art style is like Cuphead. That's why I picked it up too.
Yeah. The gameplay doesn't look that great, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but I love the spine. I think it's really
I like
awesome.
it too.
That pops, man.
I almost want to buy that spine now.
That's what I literally bought this game for all the wrong reasons. Like pretty much nothing to do with the game whatsoever. Like I just like the look of it and the artwork and the colors. Like I basically like a 4-year-old. I was like, "Oh, pretty game!" So I bought it. That's why I got it. I don't know.
Hey, whoever designed that did a good job with the color scheme, right?
Looks cool. So this one, there's been a little hype about this one. So this is Agalos.
Oh, that one's fun. That's a fun one.
No.
So, no, I don't care. I'm happy to have the PAL one.
I know, but just after what the story we heard on Sunday, how you didn't know which one was going to arrive.
Right.
But that's all right. So I ended up getting the PAL one, but I was able to figure out where and how to get the ESRB one. So
there's an ESRB one for PS4?
Yes. So there was an unreleased ESRB version of this game that literally never got officially released. And a very nice person did a lot of research on the interwebs. And when I heard me talking about this, and they kind of like filled me in on what happened. And basically a company, which shall not be named, apparently was going to release it in the West, and it didn't happen. And so they must have printed a whole bunch of them, and they can't really officially sell them or something like that. So they're selling them other places.
Okay.
And somebody told me where they get one. So I should actually have the ESRB copy coming in the next day or two, hopefully, if my sources were correct.
Well, Joe, if that comes, then hook me up with that information.
I will tell you.
Exactly after the show now, Joe.
I'll show you the link. Yeah, I don't want to blow it up until at least I get my copy for sure. But then
watch this space, guys. Watch this space.
Yeah. So, but I should have it. So anyway, yeah. So there's an unreleased ESRB version, which I should get in a couple of days. Regardless of all that, though, just talking about this game. This game's really awesome.
Yes.
It's like a. It's almost like a Sega Master System game.
It's like that Monster World kind of.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy. It reminds me of Wonder Boy and Monsterland on the Sega Master System. But
I wonder if Joel knows about that game. He would like that one.
Yeah. So it has a Switch release and a PS4 release. It only got released in PAL technically, and then they've recently discovered the ESRB one.
Yeah, they got legally released in PAL.
Yeah. And there are a few copies of the the ESRB one on eBay already, going for like $100 or
I
so.
was just about to say, this sounds like the start of a story of why did this game become expensive? Well, the publisher didn't get the rights to produce it, so they had to sell it illegally and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you can see how this would be expensive 10 years down the line.
Yeah. And it's also a really good game. So that's like a huge helping factor.
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
The
It's
game
fun.
is if it has all of that intrigue around it and it's a good game, then it'll probably be worth a decent amount. But like if you just want to play a good game, I would still pick it up even for the Switch or for the PAL version. And then this last one, I don't know. I don't think this got an ESRB release anywhere, but I picked up the Enter the Gungeon, Exit the Gungeon.
That's cool.
Yeah,
so limited run version of Enter the Gungeon, right?
So Enter the Gungeon got it released by Special Reserve Games, and then they had 2 cover variants for it. There's like an all yellow cover, and then there's a yellow and blue cover, I believe.
Yep.
And this is like the updated version that has both games. It has Enter the Gungeon and Exit the Gungeon on it. But this didn't get released in America, as far as I can tell. I think this only got released in PAL territories. And it didn't get a special reserve release or anything like that. As far as I know, this is the only physical
Easy game is
copy.
to these local GameStop on the Switch.
They have it on a Switch, too, but I don't think it's ESRB. I think it's PAL as well. But I could be wrong.
We'll find out.
I'm not. All I know is I'm pretty sure this is the only damn copy in the PS4 because I don't know else why I would have bought a PAL copy.
And that comes with the first game and the second game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one
Yep.
you get then.
Oh, so the Switch copy is ESRB. So if you want a North American copy, grab it on the Switch.
Okay, that's cool. So then
I think ironically that would have been cheaper than the strictly limited version, and it's got both games and all the DLC, right?
correct. And these
Make it
games,
make sense. Make it make sense.
the Enter the Gungeon. I don't know about Exit the Gungeon. I actually haven't played Exit the Gungeon yet, but Enter the Gungeon is freaking fantastic. That's an awesome game. Hard as balls. Like I thought I'd be like. I played so much Binding of Isaac that I thought I would just like.
You would have skills.
Nah, that came whoop my ass pretty hard. That you got to get that dodge roll down, and you got to learn the patterns. You got to learn the bosses. But yeah, great game. That's what I got.
Cool, nice, awesome stuff, man. As always.
Yeah, it was cool. So there's only like 2 things we didn't talk about really from the announcements, but they're not that great. There was like that V Rising game, which is like some sort of vampire game or something. That didn't really do much for me.
Well, I did my research on the show. I didn't see that one, so
yeah.
The article I read didn't have it in there.
It didn't look bad, but it wasn't blowing me away. And then there was that Zenless Zone Zero Triple Z game, which was like a RPG sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to know until people play it and you can hear their opinions if it's good or not with an RPG.
And we didn't talk about Sonic Shadow Generations.
That's actually a new game?
Yes, it looks like there is a new Sonic Generations coming out, but it's Sonic Shadow Generations.
Sonic Generations was a really good game that a lot of people probably like missed out on because during that time Sonic wasn't that hot, but they were trying to bring back the whole persona of Sonic, like the old school Sonic, and plus the new Sonic, which they did really well in that game. I remember beating it on the 360 years ago. Yeah, that game. I'm glad they're doing some kind of sequel for it because that game was awesome. I didn't really like the Sonic Superstars that much. Well, I tell you what, I didn't like the price they were charging. They were trying to charge a full retail price for that game, $60. Now it's down to $20, which is doable for that type of game.
It's on $20 for the Switch and the PS5. It ain't that for the fucking PS4.
PS4.
There it is.
The PS4.
Gosh, it's another one.
And it has that upgrade on it too. So that's I don't know, man. But when it comes to Sonic games like that, man, they can't be full retail price, man. They're just, just a certain price range for those games. Sonic Mania is probably the best Sonic game ever. It's my second favorite Sonic game next to Sonic CD, which I know is weird. Sonic CD is a weird game, but I love that game.
Sonic CD is good.
Well, that was the first game in the series to really like you explore the levels and going back in time and stuff. A lot of people weren't used to that. They're used to the fast, go type stuff. Plus, that game had weird boss battles that sucked. But yeah, it's a good game. But going back to Sonic Superstars though, man, it's just like that game should have retailed at $40 at the most when it first came out. When I saw 60, I laughed. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not a $60
The fact that
game.
they can still release it for 60, even if they drop the price after like a month, like just release it at 40 because you're gonna get people through the door day one. It makes sense.
Exactly. $60, man.
Then they don't have to lower the price once it's 40 because they can justify it.
Yeah. I mean, $60. The people want something that really, I mean, like that's AAA usually. So
30 is the magic number, Reggie, because you know this. Because what happens when it's 30? What happens? We buy both.
Yeah,
we buy the
we
PS4
That's not
and
the Switch got me.
I do it every time. So if you sell your game for 30, you'll get 60 out of me.
Yep,
you will. And you'll get it day one. You won't have to wait. Because that's a fair deal. A brand new AAA title or a brand new game, nice and new, clean package. I don't have to worry about it being used. Whatever, $30. I love that. That's a good price point for me.
I think Reggie just brought up a good point. Like, if you're spending $60 on a game today, you almost expect a $60 product. Like,
right.
If you can play some games for 1,000 hours and still get something out of it, well, then, again, that you're putting 20 hours in, shouldn't be $60 because it's not the same experience, right?
I can't pay $60 for a 2D pixelated game. I'm sorry. Even if it's amazing, I'm not doing that. Like for $60-$70, it's gotta be pushing the PS. My PS5 needs to be smoking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It needs
for that
to be
price, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to charge me that much, I mean, I expect cutting edge. If you want me to pay day one price, cutting edge price, it better be worth it. Something like that amazing, which it sometimes does. There are games Hogwarts Legacy was really amazing. Dead Space was really amazing. I thought Returnal was amazing when it came out. Demon Souls. There are games that I don't mind paying more for. I paid for RoboCop, fucking $60 for that bad boy. No problem. No questions asked.
How are you with Final Fantasy 16? Are you $60 all right for that game? Or?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No. I waited until that was on sale for $30, and honestly, I feel like I rushed it. I'm not.
I'm waiting, and I don't even want to pick it up now.
I don't dislike it. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's just not exciting. It's very. They played it very safe. It's just a very generic. I don't know. I don't think it's any better than Tales of Arise or any better than the new Star Ocean game that I played. Or it's just, and honestly, it's a little more simple than those games. It's not a lot going on. It's not complicated enough. I expect when I play an RPG, I expect to need a fucking notebook. You know what I'm saying? I need to write. I need to write stuff down and keep track of stuff and look stuff up and look up builds.
Start thinking about the RPG because there's so much to it. Yeah.
And the mechanics and which characters I want to use and what's my strategy going to be and should I swap out this person for that person or what should I do for this game I'm just pretty colors. It's just it's just a cool story. And and it's I'm sorry but I think quick time events are lame.
Well, they've been played out for so many years, man.
So,
why are they a thing?
It's cool that I can turn into Ifrit and fly around and blow up mountains, but if the entire experience is every once in a while, it's hit square, I go, okay.
Yeah. Horrible.
And I never mess up. I can't tell you though. I can't tell you the last time I played a quick time event. I went, oh no, I ain't circle. I haven't in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I've never. It's okay.
I put the controller down and do something when the cutscenes are. I haven't got it in my hands.
Yeah. One of the worst games for cutscenes like that is quick time events. This game called Ninja Blade on 360 is made From Software, and you cannot relax any time in that game, even during a cinematic, because all of a sudden a button prompt will come up. It's what the hell, dude? It was fun in the beginning when they did it, something like God of War, but of course companies play it out and wear it out. It's dude, what the heck? But
quick time events was a thing in Dark Cloud. So it's been around for 25 years. It's not. Don't use this technology anymore, please.
Right.
I like strategy. I liked being this person attacks, this person needs to heal, this person should be on defense because they're getting their ass beat. He's charging up his main attack. He's going to do that big thing he does in the next 2 turns. So I got to make sure I put my shields up to shield myself from frost magic, to make sure I don't take damage from that super ability. I liked the nerdiness. I'm a real nerd. Like, I'm an actual nerd. I like Dungeons and Dragons, and I like nerdy shit. I like playing with paper, and I like doing this stuff. I want my RPGs to be nerdy and complicated like that. I don't want it. I'm not action RPGs. Even action RPGs like can have strategy and some thought to them. You know what I mean? Like, we could pause time, or like, I don't know. I thought Final Fantasy VII Remake was so much more interesting than.
See, I thought that was a $60 game, and
Day one.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
And speaking of that game, I have some good news for you guys. It is February now. At the end of this month, on the 29th, we have Rebirth releasing. Oh shoot, I gotta pre-order the special edition on Amazon. But anyways, that's the game that should have came out before Final Fantasy 16, and they should have worked on Final Fantasy 16 a little bit more. Rebirth would have been perfect for the year, but they wanted to release it this year. I mean, it was supposed to come out originally in 2023, anyways, but I'm still happy it's finally here. I'm gonna play the ending of a remake again to kind of get familiar, and then in a few weeks, man, I'm gonna be playing Rebirth, man. So if I'm not picking up my phone or answering messages, man, I'm online playing that game.
It's all good. Where do you think I'll be? Dude,
that's how immersed I've been in that game, though, man. I mean, Square Enix did a really good job bringing that series back because people wanted it ever since the PS3. Remember, so that tech demo, if you guys remember, with Cloud and Midgar, if you guys remember that. And,
yeah, that demo was amazing. 100%.
Yeah, dude, so good. And that's
I
fine.
have a question. Do you think, man, I might sound silly, but do you think we're going to be able to transfer our progress over, or like, are we going to start the characters again from level 1? Like,
no, well,
no, you can transfer your file over.
You can transfer your file, but it's going to be retooled to where you're at a certain level that you are, and that's going to be the basic level in the game. So you got to level up more. So
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you may be a little overpowered in the beginning, but not too much. It's going to be balanced, I would say.
See, I played on PS4 first, so I don't know if I've still got my save or.
Yeah, you can transfer your save to the PS5 easy. They give you an option.
I did that when I did my PS4, because a lot of the games that were single player, I'm like, I don't need this save anymore. I didn't transfer them over.
I want to finish the game so bad, because I also want to play Grand Blue Fantasy that just came out. That looks absolutely fucking awesome too. And I do want to play Persona 3 Reload too, because I never played Persona 3 ever. So I'm like really.
I think I'm going to play the one. I won't play the PSP version.
Does the Grand Blue Fantasy come with a collector's edition?
There is a collector's edition for it, yeah.
Does it look like it's worth it?
I don't know how much it costs, but it is a nice edition.
I have to take a look at it.
Yeah, I don't think it came with a statue. It came with an art book, definitely a soundtrack, I believe.
Yeah, good start.
It looked nice, but it's all about the price point. I have no idea. It didn't look like it was a crazy ripoff or anything. Okay. But yeah, it looks really good. The combat looks really fun. Looks way more involved than Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, they rushed that game, man. It was probably called something else. They say, this would put 16 on here. We'll be good to go. Because if you remember how Final Fantasy 16 looked in the beginning, like when they first showed it, it looked nothing like it did like the final release and everything. And they had pretty much had some good development in it. It looked like actually a game that was like, I don't know, like it just didn't look like a Final Fantasy game at all. It looked weird, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, it seems like it definitely just seems like I don't know, like a different game with some Final Fantasy fan service slap.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna play it at some point because I heard the boss fights were exceptional. So.
Yeah, it's a good experience, but the thing is about Final 16, I guess what we're trying to say is like you probably won't pick it up again after you beat it. Like, there's no reason to go back to it. If that makes sense. Like I can replay it.
And it doesn't draw me, like when I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, like that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
As soon as I was done work, I'm like, get the fuck out of my living room. No one's playing this game. I took days off work, like to play. Like I called in sick a couple times because I was just like, this is what I'm doing, baby. Like I don't know. That game drew me in, and like
It's
You
like
know,
alive. It's like its own world.
Yeah, and then I swear to God, and I haven't done this in years. Like when I finished it, I was like sad, and then when it came out on
Yeah.
PS5 again, I was like, I played it all over again, and I haven't done
Dang.
that. I haven't done that with an RPG since I was a kid, man. I haven't played an RPG like back
I'm
to
trying
back
to
like that.
add something to the release of that game. It was probably one of the luckiest releases of all time because it released of March of 2020 when COVID just hit. So this new game came out, everyone's stuck inside. What are you going to do? Play the new game. And I mean, I played it. I'm sure, Joe, you're inside playing it and vice versa. Like, you know, how lucky can they be with a release?
I actually made and released COVID just so I could play that game more. So I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. That was
Exposed! It wasn't Wuhan, it was
You know what?
Joe!
I regret nothing. I regret nothing. I got to play that shit twice. And you know what? Screw the rest of you. And all your family members. No, I'm just kidding. That's
Like
that's
in Australia, we got
Sorry.
early. Like I finished it prior to it even being released, which was insane.
Yeah, it's just especially for me and Joe that we played the original game, they're adding a lot more to the remakes, man. And I feel like we're in for something special because obviously if you beat the game, you see some things change from the original, like with the ending. Joe, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just really like just ready for an amazing experience with that game. I know they're gonna do Rebirth. I think Rebirth is gonna go all the way. I don't know how far it's gonna go. But we're definitely gonna get a third game. So and then that'll be the end of it. I think hopefully because what they did, I think the games would have came out faster if Square Enix hadn't kind of spread out their work pretty much. Like we found out there was a Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out, which they showed what it looked like. I thought they were done with that series, but nope, it's making too much money. We got the rights still. Let's keep them going. So that's what happened. But you can tell Kingdom Hearts.
Star Wars will be in Kingdom Hearts 4.
What's that?
Star Wars,
will be in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane because like, dude, like what they could do with Kingdom Hearts now, especially the way it looks now. I mean, dude, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not trying to jump into that series because it got very all over the place after Kingdom Hearts Part 1. So I kind of fell off from it. But I'm glad some people still like it though. Well, a lot of people like it actually.
I thought about picking up the all-in-one package.
I remembered it as a kid. Playing it number 3 just felt so grindy. Felt like every fight was exactly the same, and it's just a grind. Oh, I got another monster to kill. Like, and it's never ending. Whereas a kid, I loved it. Go back through the levels and kill everything 10 times.
Well, you know what's crazy now? You know we're older and everything. Like when it comes to battles, I mean, story means a lot. So they got to have both of those things driving. It's got to have a good battle system. It's got to get a good story to keep you wanting to play as well. And you know, if it doesn't have one of those, then I mean, it kind of sucks. You know.
It's probably got to do with me growing up, not knowing every single of these new characters that are around because I don't watch them.
Right, new characters they introduce and they're all weird. They have these weird names, and you're like, "What the heck, dude?" Like,
yeah, what they need to do is they need to have like an epic character arc where Goofy becomes like Thanos and he fucking takes over. He's like the Dark Lord, and he's like just kicking everyone. Like I want to see Goofy just like on top.
Man,
of
Disney would never let them do that though. That's the problem.
Blood coming out of his freaking ears, and no.
That would be cool, to be honest with you.
That would be badass, bro. Like, come on, man, mix it up a bit.
But yeah.
Hey guys, it's been heaps of fun, but we might call that a show. Always good to see you, Reggie, and I hope the move goes well, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to see the place all set up. Are we gonna get an actual full game room tour and everything when it's all good to go?
You might, man. I mean, I feel like the one I did before was epic, but everybody keeps adding wanting more. I'm like, oh, all right. So we'll see.
All right, cool. We got to get that PS1 collection video now. I heard that was.
That's right. I promised that video and a Switch collection video. I got to put those together for you guys. It's gonna be epic. I put them together. I'm gonna show footage on all my games. So
that's
damn.
It's gonna take a minute.
I'm gonna go all over it. So
that's badass. Well,
will it be one video or like 30?
Yeah. I like to get one video out of the way. So like, boom, there it is. You know, I'm done. So. Lots to look forward to on the channel. I'm going to do a collaboration pickups video too. Like all my good pickups videos, put it all into one collaboration. I'll put that up for people to watch. And
that's cool.
Yeah, lots of good plans for the channel. I just haven't been able to get to it yet, but they are coming. So people who are watching me.
Sweet.
So the next podcast will be on Sunday afternoon for Australians or Saturday night for Americans, a little bit earlier. We're gonna have an Aussie guest on. It should be a lot of fun. So we'll see you guys then.
Yep.
And have a good weekend and happy gaming, everyone. See you soon.
Later, everybody.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets, and come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to Jeff, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna listen, dream, gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing a song to the break of dawn. Gonna run this party all night long. So come on, everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the